We're going on an adventure. Come on, chat, let's go. My name is Tyrex, and I love fucking dinosaurs.
Welcome to the fucking show.
If you ever come into this stream, expect to be naked and afraid. Hey, does my makeup look okay?
Is this what the guys in the pool hot tub category want?
I'm an astronaut. I like ass. Hashtag daddy issues. For 3 small payments of $39.99, you too can have daddy issues. Daddy, sorry. 10 out of 10 would recommend dad bods.
Doesn't it go here?
Chat, would you say I'm fun? Tell me I'm fun. Chat, tell me I'm fun. Am I fun? Am I fun? Am I fun?
This is totally normal.
The food. Angles.
My brain's like a goldfish, you know this.
I flourished.
Jupiter's close to Earth, and so I am going to Uranus. The second I think about putting it in my mouth, I want to vomit. That's what she said. Also, that's what I'm saying about hot dogs here, because I don't give a fuck. Merry fucking Christmas!
Let US love you.
No! Bill, different! This is my swamp! Ooh, what's that? Welcome back, bitch! And I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want in my swamp. I'll dance on your grave, like this. Ah! Don't get distracted by the booty. Stop looking at my butt. Will this fix your depression?
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
I have shoes on indoors. Why? Because I'm neurodivergent and I don't get shit done unless I have my shoes on. I have not liked who I am for one moment of this 30-year existence. Hey, my eyes are right here. How do you think this is pronounced? Because I pronounce it back and nutty. I'm being showered with biddies. I wish it was titties. No, I'm just kidding. But I kinda do wish it was titties. I'll be showing them off all the time. Woo! How's your Wednesday going? You should sleep naked if you want. Here I stand, naked as fuck in the day, and your balls rage on. The cold never bothered them anyway. I hope your Wednesday's going good. I hear a heartbeat. Oh shit! Ah! I'm gonna go now. Mom! Stepmom, what are you doing? You guys want to see my reenactment of being in the club? Then somebody goes, Ty, get on the dance floor. And I go, I gotta pee.
Say no to that. Not today, Satan.
Come on, bitch. The stairs. He's on the stairs. Chrissy, wake up. I don't like this. Chrissy, wake up. Hey guys, I have a question. You wanna play mermaids? If I just yell profanities of it, you're such a fucking bitch. And that, chat, is how you get what you want. Hold on. A hot dog is a taco.
Let's play mermaid.
Okay, let's play mermaids. Come on, guys. Okay, guys, I have to poop. Also, don't look at my hairy armpits. I am a mammal, and I grow hair in my armpits, okay? I try to shave it off, but sometimes I forget. We're not just Gandalf. We're sexy Gandalf. Double chin just kills me. Look,
this is my best impression of Ty.
This is the face of a shameless pooper. This poopy face. Poop and poop and poop. You can't twerk to Ohio is for lovers. What do you say about this? What do you think about this? Wow! Honey, smash or pass Pikachu?
Pass. Pikachu's a homie.
You can't smash your homies?
What?
Mom? I need some alone time, Mom! Ah! That was not funny. The mods get just the tip. Yes, the mods will get the tip. They're making it weird. Just the tip to see if Mom, I'm trying. Mom, you need to leave stream. I love you so much. Mom, please don't listen to stream anymore. Just mute me. You can't invent the wheel if your dick's out. Dance has been drinking this year. He's been watching you while you sleep. Drink your Cokes and shut up. Ah, get off my dick, you naked piece of fuck. Why are their lights turning red? Oh, shit! Oh! Let's try to make a walrus noise. I can't tell the difference. He's man-spreading. Let's get it. Let's go take a closer look.
Okay, bitch. Sure. Hands in the air.
Oh! Fuck! If I only could, I make a deal with God.
And if I only could, I make a deal with God.
Called demonologist. Ooh, a glass.
What the fuck? Come into my spider web. Come into my spider web. Nom, 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 nom.
Festus Crex. Festus Crex and Tyrex sitting on the decks, eating checks and cooking Tex-Mex while we're having sex.
Cindy, the bathtub's leaking.
Cindy, the TV's leaking.
I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way. Adore you, but
Wrongo. Shit. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's a child!
Right. Okay, let's see if the fog will work, guys. Bro, shut up. Shut the fuck up. I am a god! I learned nothing. Oh god! Oh shit! Stop! This is gonna be bad. No! I start to get in my head, and then my palms get sweaty, and then my knees get weak, and then my arms are heavy, and then there's vomit on my sweater already. It's mom's spaghetti. I'm Mr. Brightside. Chill, motherfuckers! Get on the fucking train or I'm gonna whoop your fucking ass! New!
Use your imagination.
Are you a fun guy? Okay, I'm gonna give it my best ooh-woo. Ooh-woo! Can we get an ooh-woo from Viz? Ooh-woo! Sweet dreams are made of cheese. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the 7 cheese. Everybody's looking for cheeses. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to be abused. Die, bitch, die. I just don't want my horse to die. Oh, fuck. I'm definitely gonna fall off a cliff. This is not gonna go well. Look it. I could do all sorts of things here. Yes. Caramel.
On the tip. Yes.
Oh, it's beautiful. Hi, baby. Is it gonna die? Uh-oh. No! My tail, it did look flaccid for a second, but I know how to fix that. The best part of waking up is breakfast after a nut. I'm a witch. Can I get a...
Oh yeah.
Do you remember, chat, if it lasts longer than 4 hours, you should call a doctor. Okay? Hello, princesses. Hello. I hope you guys are having a good day. What up? Dude, oh my god, I just dropped a bunch of shit. Whatever. Hi guys. It's good to see you. What was I gonna say? I just turned my mic all the way down. So first of all, guys, I don't know what the fuck is in the water today. I took a 4-hour nap this morning. First of all, Viz got me up at the ass crack of dawn. I was up at like 5:30, which is bullshit. And then I took a nap. And then I had to go to the gym. It was awful. But anyway, if you're here, you need to say present or else I'm not going down your hill. Paul Wensassas. Hi, Vix. Hi, Matt. Hi, Nova. Hi, Brian. Hi, Votto. Hi, Casey. Hello, T. Hi, everyone. Get sure you get donos. Get daily donos. Hi, Techno. Hello, Villainous. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dogs. Hi, Nerd. Hi, Poe. Dude, 4 hours was way too long, though. Because, like, now I'm not, like, functioning, which is not good. Hi, Wally. Hi, JTech. Hi, Starshie. Hi, Ben. Hi, Votto. Hello, Sticks. Hi, Villainous. Hi, Dopamine. Hello, beautiful people. Hi, T. George, thanks for the 35 freaking months, man. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Hang on, my alerts are off. My alerts were off. There we go. Now we can hear it. Don't forget your dino. I know, I need to be the one. Hi, Phantom. How are you? Hi, Wern. Hi, Orion. How are you? Hi, you, George. Hello. Live Life Toast Wrap. What up? What's up? So, guys, today we have another Medical Monday. I'm excited. I'm also a little bit scared. Kona, I don't have any T words in here. You already ate it. Dinner. You can't have this. You can't bully a mama. You can't bully mama. No bully a mama. Not a bully mama. She can't bully me today. I'm not gonna let her bully me. I'm not doing it. She's already eaten. She's gotten all the things. Warren, dude, that's crazy actually though. What in the hell? Hi, lady. Hi, Live Life Toast Bad. Oh my god.
Monday Quain time.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the bits, Kraz. Guys, thanks for the follows, guys. Oh my god. No hype trains today. It's all about edumacation today. It's all about edumacation. Thank you for the follow. Hi, lady. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Kraz, for the bits. Thank you, Warren, for the 11 fucking months. That's nuts, dude. Also, my 3D printer's been fucking up. I need to go through and like fish out some filament, I think, because it's a little funky. But thanks for the freaking hype train, ya weenies. Anyway, yeah, guys, it's another episode of Medical Monday. So we used to do mental health Mondays all the time. We have adjusted a little bit, and I think that this is kind of in line. Thank you, Ben, for the bits.
TIRX ticket.
Yeah, dogs, I need to print another one because my printer is acting up. It's acting a fool. So yeah, please remind me. I need to like write it down somewhere that like I need to do a 9-monther. It's hot as fuck in this room today, by the way, you guys. So if I'm sweating, that's why. Hi, Orion. The baby isn't ready yet. Yeah, it just needs to bake a little bit. It's just a little overdue. Guys, it's so fucking hot in here. Did Viz, hang on. I think Viz might have fucked with the... Yeah, man, we have like eco or whatever. It's at 77 fucking degrees in here. Okay, well, anyway, I am not going to be putting up with that shit. I think I'm gonna die. Is it humored over by y'all? No, dude, J-Tech, did you hear us talking about corn sweat in the Midwest the other day? Because corn sweat is apparently a thing. Chill, thank you for the 23 months. Hi, it's good to see you. Hi, Zappy Pappy. Hello. 77, that's a tour. I know, dude, it's hot as fuck. My shirt's so cute, thank you. It has like a little bow in the front. I didn't want to wear like I didn't want to look like a bum today because it's like Medical Monday, and I know that people already like struggle with the fact that like I am an actual doctor, and they're like, "How are you a doctor and you have purple hair? How are you doctor and you laugh like that? How are you doctor and you act like that?" Like so often. So I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna wear like a button up. I'm gonna wear a button up.
Galaxy is gonna fly at plus light speed, and we're gonna find aliens.
Queso is such a specimen. I feel you on it being hot. Dude, it's crazy. Like, it was raining all weekend. Now it's hot as fuck. But yeah, it's not too humid because we live in the high desert, so it's not like we don't get much moisture. I was looking at something that said we're not going to get a very good winter with snow and stuff, which makes me very sad. I had to dig out the lab coat. Dude, I swear, I do have my freaking badge right here. It made me cry not too long ago, though. Last time I did a Medical Monday, I started crying because Viz was like, I don't know if you want this. And I was like, I can't even look at it, really. Come to Canada. Don't tempt me with a good time. Hi, Egg. Bring out the lab coat and teach us things. I do have I have a Bill Nye the Science Guy lab coat with a little bow. It's very cute. Bean, why are you punchies? You punch your mom? Why are you so punch? Oh my God, you're so punch. Don't be so punch. That's so rude. That's so rude to be punchy. Anyway, good to see you. Sorry I got quiet yesterday. I fell asleep. No, that's totally fine. Dude, I took a 4-hour nap today. Seriously, like so I got up at like 5:30 and I felt like I was dying. Was at the gym by like 6 something and then got home at like 8:30-ish and passed out until noon. I couldn't even I took like a fuckload of pre-workout too. That's probably another reason why I'm sweaty. But yeah, we need to see proof. Put us on the Bill Nye outfit. Dude, I should get my Bill Nye outfit out. I do have, I have a nice little bow tie. We get lots of snow. It's like Satan's ass right now, at least where I'm at. Ew. Hi, Evil. It's good to see you. Ugh, guys, I'm melting. Okay, anyway. But yeah, so on the docket, it's the second ever Medical Monday. Thank you guys for supporting me while I do this because I have a lot of insecurities, I guess, about like losing my intelligence and getting really stupid. Because it's like, I don't know, I know it's not real, but like if you don't use it, you lose it type of thing. And like, I'm so paranoid that all of the education that I got is just like coming out of my ears every time I sleep. And then I'm just getting dumber and dumber and dumber. And so the other thing is like, you know, I have a lot of education, but I also have a lot of debt. And so the debt piece, like, it feels like I got nothing out of paying for all that. But so this is, I don't know if this makes sense at all, but this is my way of being able to use my education in a way that feels substantial enough to like justify that debt, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But like, if I paid all that money to get this education, like, I want to use it. I want to use it a lot. Hi, Wolfen. And I also, like, I still want to help people. Bean, it's so hot in here, and you are going to overstimulate the shit out of me. Dude, it's hot. It's hot in here. Look at her. All she wants is a T word. That's all they want out of me. They don't even care about me, guys. Guys, they don't even care. All they want is a T word. And I don't have any. You guys eated all of them. You eated all the T words. You eated them. What am I supposed to do? Look at them. Look at those little faces. I have similar fears of getting dumber. Yeah, dude, I just like, I don't know. If it's kind of crazy, like medical science is advancing like constantly. And if you're not like staying up to date with it, you fall behind. And I don't want to do that. I want to like be in the know. And I do consume like a lot of like educational content, which is good and something I need to consider, but it's not something that like, it's not something I'm super duper like comfortable like say. I don't know. I suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effect in that I think I'm way dumber than I am. Hi, Wolfen. Hi, Zeus. Hi, Delit. I'll have to go get him a T word. So they'll know what a T word is. I know. Word. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know nothing. She's just like looking at me with her mouth open, just like, Guys, thanks to the hype trade. Every time I use ChatGPT, I feel like brain cells are getting lost. Dude, there's actually like neuroscientists that are studying the effect of AI on people's brains, which is crazy. Crazy. Also, hi Tinted, hi Phantom Ghost. Hang on, let me go get them a T-word. OT, show everybody your nice tricks. Twirl. Good twirl. Yeah, and twirl. Oh, you guys are so smart. Anyway, got a plump cone up. Are you kidding me? That woman, like, she burns so many calories. She eats more than her sister, but she is like, she's 11 and she runs like a psychopath. But yeah, I did the same thing. It's hard not to feel good about your accomplishments or comments. No, 100%. Yeah, so like I wanna feel like I'm giving back in like some way, shape, or form. When it comes to my education, because I don't want it, like I am proud of it and I don't want it to go away, you know? But yeah, I do suffer from mad imposter syndrome. Always have, always will probably. Hi Mechanical Dino, you should ask if AI is making people more stupid, which is hilarious. Wait, how does it respond? What's like crazy and like scary is how much environmental waste AI is, using, like how much water it has to use, which is kind of scary. Hi sweethearts cat, what's up? I'm just here for Detective Bibi, a real detective. She's detecting all the things, especially the T words. Oh my God. It's a fair argument. My partner's a nursing instructor, and now they can't crutch AI through school. They're struggling. Wait, how are they preventing people from using AI in nursing school? I'm so curious. Because when I was in school, it was all before AI was doing stuff. So I didn't know, like, I don't know how people are using it. How are schools like detecting it? Like, the AI releases, yeah, dude, I've seen so much like pollution and shit. It's scary. But anyway, I found a way to make myself angry on command. I just watched Hamburg Guy's video on the anti-vax craze, and I have to stop every 10 minutes and become wild. Oh no. Okay, guys, I need to like. Also, hi Speedy. Hi Christopher. Hello. It's good to see you. I have something really sad to share. It depends on if it's triggering or not. It might be better suited for Discord. Hey, yo, Tony, thanks for the 25 months. Crocs, it's insane. I blacked out what I was gonna say. I think it said hi to Speedy, and that's about it. Oh, the anti-vax thing, you guys. I had to like confess to Viz. So I made this presentation, and you guys will see where I started running out of creative juices, and I just started yelling. Okay, there's yelling in my PowerPoint. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna end up ranting like a lot, and it's gonna be great, but it's also gonna be, I prepped my mods today. I also said like, hey guys, like if we end up getting like hate rated or some fucking weird shit happens, we just like be ready for it because people are fucking insane. So we'll see what happens. The thing is like guys, I'm a lot older than other people on this platform. I've been fighting my family on the internet for the better part of 15 years about vaccines. So I'm very well versed in like how to fight these fucks. But at the same time, I want to encourage discourse. I want to like encourage questions. But like if they're going to come in and tell me that vaccines are going to cause autism, you guys, I have like, I don't even know how many sources. I like couldn't link all of them and they're huge studies, like 600,000 person studies versus one study published in 1998 that alleged that 12 kids were indicative of the rest of the population. Thank you for the follow. Hi, Mama Six. Hi, Casey. Hi, everybody. That's like solar panels, such a waste. They're 25-year lifespan and 30% effective and barely recyclable. I wish we'd use hydropower. I don't know enough about it. But yeah, I asked I asked AI and it was like, oh, AI can cause issues with letting people know how to research and use their knowledge and find things out they lack knowledge in, but won't necessarily be dumb. Interesting. I'm a CS student. They put things through AI detectors. Oh, they don't work the best though, huh? Because like, what if somebody were to like read something AI and then just like type it out? You know what I mean? Like plagiarize, but type. Like, can they detect that? Is there, because I know that AI uses like a certain like cadence of speaking and writing. So weird. So weird. Hi, Eradicator. Welcome in. How'd you find the stream? Good day. Hi, Milky. Hi, Boston. There's a good episode of a pod called Science versus That. Science Versus is the thing that it's called. It covers autism, topics of vaccines. Yeah, we're going to go into it a little bit. Which will be good. I feel, so my goal here, you guys, is to provide education so that you guys can feel more empowered to make decisions on your health and also feel more educated about the goings on and the happenings in the world right now, because there's a lot of things that are happening that this pertains to. And the more you know about your body, the less scary things become, because what a lot of these people who tout disinformation and misinformation, number one, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. They think that they know a ton more than they do, whereas the experts aren't as confident because they know what they don't know. Or they don't know what they don't know. And so then there's this like broad horizon that opens up once you get more education where you're like, holy shit, there's a lot I don't know. That I want you guys to feel more empowered and less scared, because there's a lot of fear mongering out there. And so I address some of the wild claims that are often made, just so that we can talk about, them. Because there are some hot button topics that they bring up every fucking time, and it's so easily debunkable, but they just don't. But yeah, you could reword things. Sometimes it says an actual human written things or AI. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I can only understand AI if it helps disabled and medical community. Beyond that, I hate it. People are becoming insane. Dude, I've seen people using AI as a therapist, which is scary. Hi, Lethal. I hope you're doing well. I hope that soccer's good. Hi, Noctua. I use AI all the time, but I use it as a tool with other tools and never take it as the gospel. Yeah, dude, people are using it as a therapist, and like also people are using it to get information, and it has been shown to not be accurate. So that's the other thing. Like, there was a government website that cited ChatGPT recently. So that's not that chill. Sounds good, Vado. Hi, Cryptid. Sounds like me during COVID at work. I kicked so many people out of my store because of the front entrance telling people to read the symptoms before entry. The minute anyone said vaccines were bad, did. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about all of it. Have you ever thought of being a teaching doctor? Yeah, so I taught in medical school, and I was a tutor throughout everything. I enjoy teaching a lot. I don't know, I think if I would have gone into clinical medicine, that I would have, my history is really interesting. I was pushed to go into the career that I went into by people in my life who really just like wanted to be able to tout my accolades as some kind of fucked up trophy, without knowing that like that wasn't what I wanted, and that I wanted to help people, and I had different motivations. And so that contributed to like my burnout and moral injury, in that like at the end of the day, when I looked at everything, I was like, I don't want to practice clinical medicine in the world, in the frame that it exists in right now. I think if I would have gone to school for something different, and I would have been like a biologist, or, you know, gotten a PhD in something that I would have taught. But at this point, like, I don't want to go back and get another doctorate. It's going to cost more money, more time. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm depressed. All the things. I swear it feels like diagnosing autism is Utah's go-to diagnosis. Interesting. I haven't lived there for 10 years, so who knows what's going on over there. There's some crazy shit, though. They're banning fluoride in water and stuff. I just want to say that your intelligence is such a breath of fresh air. Thank you, cats.
Happy 39 months, Queen. I hope you had a great day.
Tier 3?
Thank
Thank you for the 30 months. I appreciate you. You the best. Your intelligence is a breath of fresh air on this platform, and it's so cool that you're able to share your knowledge and have acquired on a platform that doesn't normally have intelligent discussions. I know, that's the thing. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna just open. Okay, I'm gonna be a little vulnerable here. I worry a lot because I'm older than a lot of people on this platform. And I worry that people aren't gonna want to watch me, you know, because I'm older, and Viz has to like just shake me every like 2 weeks and be like, honey, your value is not in like how, you know, people perceive you to be young or anything like that. You have other value. And I just like, I struggle so badly with that. Because like what sucks too is that like, you know, there's this big push that like, you know, women have an expiration date, and, you know, women over the age of whatever or what are useless or something like that. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, like this shit gets to ya. It sucks. Like the messages that we as women are told as far as like our usefulness to society and our attractiveness and our all of the things, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. And I think I've internalized a little bit of that, which sucks. And give her the follow. I don't care that you're a doctor or scientist. I know you're wrong because the interwebs and my crystal said so. Yeah, we're going to make it so that the interwebs and the crystals are going to have to work a little harder. The smarter I get, the more I realize just how little I know. 100%. 100%. But yeah, I know my ChatGPT girlfriend really loves me. Dude, the girlfriend is so concerning. Hi, Filthy Casual. Hi, Zach. Hi, Froggy. Welcome in, guys. People couldn't push me when they wanted to because I'm not smart enough to get as far as you did. I love academia. I love education. I love learning. Like I am a student of life. I absolutely love learning. Just for the sake of learning. Like it's not even to like get something out of it. I love learning so that I can translate it in my own mind and teach somebody. Like I don't know why that little piece of it gives me so much dopamine. Like if I understand it well enough that I can teach you something, and like I can see or hear like the freaking light bulb go off in your mind, and you're like, oh my God, I understand something that was really complex. Thank you for doing that. I get that feedback all the time from people who are like, you boiled a really complex topic into something that was digestible, and now I feel enabled and empowered to like talk to other people about it. And that is one of the biggest compliments you could ever give me. Like when I was teaching in med school, like everyone was like, Ty, you're the most enthusiastic teacher. Like I love you know, being tutored by you, like all of that. Like that's such a compliment to me. We moved more to the left here in the last election. Wait, more to the left here in the last election. Oh, Utah? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know anything about Utah anymore now that I don't live there. Johnster, what's up? Welcome in. It's been a while, dude. How are you? Might be a hot question, but how do you feel about RFK? I fucking hate him. I hate him. I despise RFK Jr. I need to make that abundantly clear. Hi, Ogre. I'll watch you even when you turn 90. Thank you. Now we know your two crawling is entertaining nerds and dorks. I know, and then providing some education. Because that is something I pride myself on, is being able to like take like really complex topics and then make them more easily digestible. And so that's what I did today. Like, you know how last time I did kind of like a D&D game for hormones and stuff? This time we're doing it like a little castle adventure. And like your immune system is this castle trying to protect you, and like some of the barriers and like the knights of the castle, and like what do they do, or the dragons of the castle, what do they do? So it'll be fun. Hopefully you guys don't get bored. The end of it though, I could not like gamify misinformation, and so I just started word vomiting, and you'll see it probably has fucking typos and shit because I was typing so fast. Thank you for the follow. I love learning for you. Thank you. It's been a few days since I was able to stop by. I saw your live. Thank you for being here. Oh, I appreciate you. But I also feel like the age of Twitch and YouTube is older. It's true. Like as millennials are aging up, because we've been so like enveloped in technology, I feel like, you know, the age bracket has widened. Like you don't really see, like you see some boomers and some Gen Xers online, but you see a lot of millennials online. So that's that. I thought you were in your early 20s regardless. Oh, thank you. No, dude, I've lived some life. I'm not like old, but you know, I've gone to undergrad, med school, residency. That's some shit. But yeah, you so much value to society. You can go fuck itself and feel lucky that I even stumbled into your streams. Not only is your knowledge so valuable, but you're so articulate. Wait, you're able to articulate it in such an easy way that anyone can understand it. That's a huge compliment. Seriously, thank you guys. Hi, Thunderhead. It's good to see you. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I do remember you, Johnster. I remember everybody. I'm like a fucking elephant. For all the younger people, dude, Johnster was like one of my like 10th viewers. I kid you not, from like 3 years ago. Yeah, for all the younger people around, just look up microorganisms of the Great Oxygenation Event. Dude, I love looking at Earth's mass extinction events. It's one of my favorite pastimes. But yeah, totally relevant medical question. Doctor got glaucoma flecken videos. Cardiology and nephrology hate each other. Oh, okay. Okay, so there's this battle between specialists, and I'd say it includes neurology as well, but essentially cardiologists view the heart as obviously the most important organ. And nephrologists, for instance, just view the heart as an organ that perfuses the kidneys. So it's an organ that provides blood to the kidneys. And that is like the kidneys are the most important organ to them. And then neurology, the heart and the kidneys are just mechanisms by which the brain survives. And so like there's this big back and forth because cardiology and nephrology are very intertwined when it comes to things like heart failure, kidney failure, like fluid balance and all sorts of things. And so it's interesting to see how cardiology views the body from like a very like cardiocentric world, and then nephrology from a very kidney centric world. But it's funny from the outside because it's all integrated and it's all together. But you should see it in clinic in the hospitals. Like they'll sit and battle over whether or not you should give fluid, whether or not because there's all this other stuff too. Like if somebody is in heart failure, you want to be really careful about how much fluid you give them. Whereas if somebody's having kidney injury, you want to flush the kidneys with fluid. And there can be some heated arguments and discussions. I'll just say that much. But yeah, it's just a different framework from which they view the human body and like the function and the importance of certain organs. But yeah, my castle isn't paying the knights or have money for maintenance. The king is gluttonous and might die during a boar hunt or something. That story sounds familiar. Hi, Chase. If it helps you, I found out my primary care doctor is 38. I love that. That's young. But yeah, I got my X-ray results. It says big words. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I hope it goes well. Over 3 years on the money. Your memory's insane, dude. Yeah, no, it's crazy, Johnster. I hope you're doing well. Couldn't gamify this misinformation. I know, dude. Could it be illusions? Curses? Oh yeah, I should have done it like curses. I should have done that. I just started to run out of steam. I was just getting more and more frustrated by the fact that this shit even needed to be addressed. Apparently my generation is now considered a zillennial, sort of, but not really Gen X, but not quite millennial. There are also like zillennials with a Z as well. Hi Glenn, it's good to see you. Anyone in this chat asking a coherent question has already proved themselves more value to humanity than half of Congress. Dude, I've been talking about this like every stream for the last couple of days, but I think that you need to have like over a master's degree to be able to run for Congress. 100%. The brain keeps all those things working in the first place, so the brain's the most important. You'd be surprised though, the brain doesn't survive very long without everything else. Oliver Hair, thank you. I appreciate it. My psychiatrist just retired. I'm pretty sure my new psychiatrist that I've met yet is younger than me, so that's the thing I'm gonna have to learn to deal with. Sometimes it happens. Yeah. Sometimes it happens. The thing is I don't know if this will make anybody feel any better, but there is kind of like a best, how do I describe this? Like a best time to get a doc, I guess. And so like, you don't want your doc to be too young that they just got out of residency because they don't really have like the clinical acquiesce that like an older doc does. This isn't to say that like doctors don't have excellent training. They do, but there is a sweet spot where 10 years after residency, docs, they've found that docs are just well enough like into practice to have like really good clinical skills, and then just far enough out of residency that they're still like really up to date with a lot of the like newest medical advancements as well. So that's an interesting thing. So sometimes you don't want like a super old doc because they're not in the know. And what's interesting, I know that you like a lot of institutions require CMEs, which is continuing medical education, but some old docs are very old school and they are not up to date with some of the most recent shit. So it's important to find a doc who is. Thank you for the follow. I graduated from engineering last year and started working last year. Now I just got offered a new position. Let's go. Still grinding at the gym. Let's go. Same. I love to hear it. Well, it's good to see you, man. Congrats on all the things. But yeah, I've long said that there's a transition between generations. Dude, the whole like... What? Are you seeing ghosts? What are you barking at? Bean! Are there ghosts in this room? Okay, there's obviously something outside. She was barking at the wall. Hey! Women of the world! Bibi! May. You stop the barkies. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm good though, Glenn. It's good to see you. Hi, Lucas. If you want to put amendment education on Congress, education should be free, 100%. Oh yeah. Hi, dude. It's good to see you. I was thinking of some kind of morality test too. I feel like people just cheat on it. I've been researching the brain a ton. The homework for my therapist, I've been teaching her some random stuff. Oh, I like it. But yeah, glad I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Hi, Chris. I'm doing great. Hi, Slinky. I already said hi to you, but you're going to be the person I say hi to 800 times today. The Monstera moved with the wind. Did you see that? She was barking at the wall. Dude, if my dog ever kept like barking at like a singular spot on the wall, I'm telling you, I'm burning my house down. Don't do that, Speed. That would be very spooky. Hi, Jack. It's good to see you. As long as we treat each other with respect, that they aren't telling me I'm making things up or there's no hope for something, I don't care if my PCP. 100%. 100%. It all depends on the therapeutic relationship you have. Like, there are some doctors that are great at listening. There's some doctors who are not. I feel so special. You're going to be the one person. So it's been 45 minutes. I know that there were a lot of people that came in. I don't know how to deal with this. If you guys have any like insight or anybody else does into how to deal with this, but when I was doing Medical Monday last time, I had a couple people who were like, "Hey, I just came in, but like I have no idea what's going on." I don't know. I don't know how to deal with that. Like, just tell them to watch the VOD. Because like I want as many people as possible that want to be here, but at the same time, like the people who are here, like I want to make sure that everything feels like really linear. I don't know. I know I'm getting on my geriatric millennial sister by reminding her that I'm a millennial too. She doesn't like that. She tries to say early 90s millennials don't count. As far as like millennials, wow. But yeah, quick question. If someone becomes anemic, is there a chance it'll go away or you don't have to take iron anymore? It depends on the source of the anemia, the cause of it. But yeah, theoretically, like you can like recover from anemia if that's the question. It just depends on it because there's a lot of people who are anemic from, like an iron deficiency anemia type thing. Anemia in an older individual is cancer until proven otherwise. Because you can actually be anemic due to blood loss through the colon, through the uterus, all sorts of places, and not really know it. And so anytime an old person comes out with anemia, you have to check for bleeding. So it just depends, because like you could be anemic because you have blood loss, all sorts of things. Yeah, you should look it up. Research we're doing to learn how to determine what's our consciousness and where the soul is so amazing. If you have any peer-reviewed stuff, I'll look at it. You can't rehash everything. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, lock the door. They're late to class. It's true. Prometheus doesn't have his liver eaten every day, so you can ignore the allure of arson. It is very alluring. We can just answer, neither do we. That way they won't feel left out. Okay, perfect, Techno. The idea of just shaming people for showing up, imagine, but get out. Maybe make a paragraph. You could put in a command. We do have like the medical advice command, but yeah, maybe we need like a timer or something. That's my dad, but he has cancer. Yeah. Anytime like alarm bells should go off. If someone's anemic and older, alarm bells should go off about, is it cancer? Any sort of clot too. Like I saw a patient who had bilateral DVTs, and she actually had a huge PE, and we were able to save her, but she had big old clots everywhere, and she ended up having ovarian cancer. So any sort of like hypercoagulability can be due to cancer as well. It's not like exclusive by any means, but it's something to look into. But yeah, hi Lion. You have a topic like list in the corner of your presentation as it goes, they get crossed off. Oh, I wonder if there's a way to like attach that to the slide. So like as I move through the slide, it like checks things off. That'd be pretty cool. Hi Lion, hi Croc. You're gonna put a PowerPoint in the Discord. Oh, I need to make a new channel actually. Has anybody else's Discord been funky, by the way? Like my Discord's not opening half the time. Which is dumb. Let's see. I might put it under like EMS help resources and then say, oh, I need a little emoji. Emojipedia. See, doctor. Oh wait, let me just put a little stethoscope. Copy, paste. Medical Mondays. Create channel. Edit. Missions. So I don't want people to be able to send messages because it'll just get bogged, but you can add reactions. Read message history, but not send them. Okay. Yeah, so I just made a Medical Mondays thing under emergent EMS mental health resources, and then I'll post last time's thing, and that way you guys can check on like what sources I used. Almost all of my sources from this time, I think I got one from Johns Hopkins and St. Jude, but the majority of the sources I'm using this time are from the FDA and the CDC. And then I included a spot. Oh, I should have labeled it. I don't think I'd labeled it. Where you can actually get the pamphlets for all the various vaccines and actually look at ingredients. I know that somebody, I don't remember who it was, somebody in chat was asking about ingredients of vaccines, and that is all publicly available. Nobody's trying to hide that. Hi Lexington, hi CJ. Oh, we can pin something or make a command. Yeah, dude, I'm cool with whatever. I don't know, I feel lazy today. But yeah, pin will totally help too. A lot of times they just disappear. Yeah, that's what sucks. I've noticed that like the pins don't pop up. Hi Johnson. Yeah, one of the latest updates been funky. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. It's have broken house cards and something's always wrong with it. Yeah, dude, if I try to open it on my freaking phone, it just is. It's just an endless loop of this. And it never opens. So I don't know what the deal is. If it's using PowerPoint, it could be part of the layout or new slide. Okay. I'm gonna look into that. Quick side note on Discord, just before I forget, I saw you had an issue with the count bot. If you're ever interested, there's a really... Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, dude, I installed the count bot and then it went down and then I installed a new one and then the new one just didn't fucking work. Did not work. According to my aunt on Facebook, Dr. Fauci makes monies off the vaccine. Oh, that is one thing I was gonna put in. Damn it, I'm sad I forgot about that. It was gonna be sarcastic and a little feisty. But I was gonna put conflicts of interest into my PowerPoint and then go, none, bitch! Because I'm not paid for this shit. I just want people to be educated. And I want people to not get hurt. And I want people to not die. But I guess I'll fuck myself. Anyway, yeah, I get accused of being a big pharma shill all the time. And I'm like, if you're accusing me of getting paid, where's my money? Pay me! My God. I'm doing this shit for free. What the fuck? Anyway, I love the story about a dude planning to prescribe the chemical ingredients of a vaccine to an anti-vaxxer, and the anti-vaxxer said they were all dangerous. And they said, oh, wait, yeah, dude, 100%. Yeah, these are the same people that you're like, oh my God, dihydrogen monoxide. They're like, yeah, I know, that's shit scary. And you're like, oh, that's water. And then they're like, oh. Have you watched the paleontologizing stream? I love his stream, dude. I lurk his stream all the time. Yeah, he's out in Utah digging right now. He's awesome. I'm conflicted, but not interested, dude. Hi, Mers. So yeah, or ivermectin cures cancer. Yeah, I have seen in comment sections people recommending ivermectin for everything. Girl. Anyway, I can't even, because there's not enough time in the fucking universe to address all the shit that people are pulling out of their asses. And then they ask you, like, they act as if the burden of proof is on you when they're making outlandish claims. Like, they'll be like, the Earth's flat. And it's like, okay, well, we've proven it's not, but prove it. And they're like, no, you prove it's round. It's like, we have. Over and over again. Since the 1800s. Earlier. You psycho. I'm drinking some dihydrogen monoxide right now. I know, dude. And then when they're all like, yeah, you need a chemical-free lifestyle or whatever. And it's like, everything is chemicals. You are chemicals. Water is chemicals. Everything's a chemical. They just use these buzzwords like misinformation hijacks scientific vernacular in order to scare people. I included a surprise in my parcel. Oh, thank you. I have one question. Has your partner constructed any more awesome Lego sets since the shuttle? He did the ornithopter. Did you guys see the ornithopter yet? The ornithopter and the Batmobile, which are pretty sick. Sick isn't cool. People are like, Big Pharma's bad. Take ivermectin instead. I'm like, who the fuck do you think? Yeah, exactly. It's elves. It's Santa Claus, naturally. The guy in the documentary about flat earthers didn't experiment proved it was around, which is so great. Oh my God. They're putting probiotic face rubs. They're literally putting stuff. Oh my God, dude. Everything's a buzzword. Everybody wants to sell you shit. I don't want to sell you anything. I just want to educate you guys. I don't want to sell you shit. In fact, I yell at you every time you try to fucking spend money in this place. Just let me educate you. Just let me educate you for free. This is free school. Unless you haven't subbed, and then maybe you'll get an ad every so often. But I make like 30 cents a month on those. Some guy yelled at me the other day about my ads. Everything's chemicals. It is. But rose water and orange peels with a drop of cow dung cured my insomnia. Dude, the people who have been telling, they're like, oh my God, my baby has RSV or whatever. And they're like, rub potatoes on their feet. What is rubbing fucking potatoes on their feet gonna do, you guys? I'm chemicals. Does that make you a superhero? You are. I know. I wish my powers were stronger. I just got the whole being obsessed with science superpower and nobody listens. Ancient Greeks figured out it wasn't flat. I'm going to put something in random chats for you. Let's go. But yeah, every time someone says stupid stuff and we have to, it just says prove it, just makes me write a letter to a different congressman asking them to remove warning labels off of things. That account got deleted? Oh, damn. That was fast. Does anyone else having a stressful day or week? I hope this helps. F is for friends who do stuff together. I love it. I hate how people can't defend their opinion, try to prove you that their claim is wrong, that their claim is wrong. Bitch, that's not how things work. You said something true. I say prove it. You have to prove your claim. Exactly. Not me to prove that you're wrong. Exactly. And also, like, these people don't know, like, I don't know. Everything's a conspiracy. Nothing's real. Everything's made up and the points don't matter kind of type of shit. But at the same time, like, what's it called? At the same time, my brain just went freaking empty. I just thought of whose line is it anyway, and then my brain went completely offline. Oh, the people who are claiming this outlandish shit, if you prove it, you will get rich and famous. Prove it. If you were to prove that the earth is flat, Like, without a shred of doubt, you would win all of the prizes and become so famous that you couldn't even see straight. Or if you could like disprove, I don't know, any of the shit that they talk about. My God. There must be more than one because I was arguing with one as well. Oh yeah, on Twitter. Oh my God. I just bought the Lego Icons Shelby Cobra. Ooh. Wasn't there an old wives' tale about onions under the bed? I don't know. There was something about a pea under a mattress. To be fair, people think birds are fake. I can't even keep up with it anymore, dude. We are going so backwards. God, straight up anymore we have to do is state your source, and if they can't, just walk away. Dude, none of them can. None of them can. And if they do, they're like, oh, I saw it on Twitter. I saw a YouTube video. What? Birds are a government conspiracy? I learned that the earth was round in like grade 9, dude. Water has memory, and whilst its memory of a long lost drop of onion juice seems infinite, it somehow forgets all the poo it's had in it. That's fair. People are stupid. The best thing we can do is not waste our time wondering why they're... Yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair. There's actually afraid for alternative medicine that's been clinically proven to work. It's medicine. It's Western medicine. Oh my God. The pea under the mattress is a story about a princess and the pea. Yeah. I'm going to do a peer-reviewed study. The only appropriate stance. That's me, man. I constantly am asking people for peer-reviewed sources, and then they look at me like I'm nuts. If it's not peer-reviewed, I don't want to look at it. It's stupid. Anybody can say anything they want on the internet. I could tell you that buttholes are made of antimatter, and somebody be like, oh yeah, I think it is. Who's gonna disprove it? I don't know. Everyone? Okay, anyway. Anyway, should we get into the slide deck? Should we get into Medical Monday? Blurp that. Don't you ever. Okay, let's get into the slide deck. Hi, Markless. It's good to see you. Buttholes aren't made of antimatter. No, they are. That's what I'm trying to claim on the internet. Because that's just as valid as all the scientific evidence, right? Right. Prove to me that there's no flying spaghetti monster. Yes, prove it! I had a customer tell me that chemtrails were the cause of COVID. They're not even trying anymore. What? Bring back when conspiracy theorists were tryhards. Okay, friends. Here's that. There's that. Okay, we're getting into Medical Monday. Batman, T-Rex, Medical Monday. Okay, guys. So I hope you guys know that the whole reason I'm doing this is because I actually give a shit about people, and I am not a big pharma shill, I promise. I hope the music's not too loud. Hopefully it's just a nice undertone of millennial emo music. So today is Medical Monday. It's the second one ever. The first one was on hormones. I'm going to post the PowerPoint slides in Discord. So if you're not in Discord yet, you should go in there. Oh shit. We have an ad incoming in like 3 minutes. Hang on. I'm going to go pee. I wish I could just run it now. I should just go pee and get set up while we do all these things. I need something about how an hour near a black hole could equal 1,000 years on Earth, and my mind was blown. Oh yeah. I'm gonna talk about relativity. Let's go. Okay. So it says that my ad's about to start in like 2 minutes. I wish there was a way that I could just run it currently. I understand that you can't put your real name, but I would love to hear you get called your diploma as read as Dr. T-Rex. Dr. T-Rex, here's your medical degree. That's a cute picture. Thank you. I got to take it when I graduated with my degree. I know I look so different, dude. The purple hair and just time. Dub ad timing for real. But yeah, no, that's me. Dr. Tysandra Vesuvius Rex. You have got that correct. I think I put new pictures. Not that one.
Baby, your baby.
months! Dude, my freaking 3D printer is borked. I need to get my stuff together. I wonder if I could. I'm gonna try printing one more time. Because it gave me an error. And it said something was clogged. But I think Marco had 9 months already. No, dude, it always feels like longer but shorter. Dude, thank you for tier 3 too! You weenie. You weenie! Let's try this again. Print. Printer is busy with another print job. The fuck do you mean? Okay. That's ready to print. Send. Says it's downloading. And none of my stuff is blinking. This is a good thing to do while people are in ads, by the way. Yeah, maybe the nozzle's clogged. Yeah, dude, I've had to like go into the AMS system and clip some filament a couple times, but there might be some warring in the background of stream if this ends up working. Just a heads up. It definitely feels like longer. I know, which is crazy. Does your 3D printer make poops? It can. Something clogged nozzle, try a cold pull. I did, what I did, dude, last time was like part of the filament got busted like in the tube, and then I just had to move it out, and it was totally fine. Okay, are people back from ads? I don't know if anybody is experiencing ads right now. I know that the majority of us are subscribed. Oh wait, now it says that the ads are going. Okay. Now they're in ads. Hi, Midnight. It's good to see you. Hello, everybody. Hi, Abacus. I know that the majority of us are in here. Wait, hang on. Okay, so we had 2 tier 3s. It's Markless and Cat. So let me get you. I always have to put like a little thing. Oh yeah, AMS failed to send out the filament. You can clip the end of your filament flat and reinsert. Oh! Guys, I straight up didn't load my filament. Right. Oh, it's because I don't have enough. Oh, I'll deal with that later. I'll deal with it later. Okay. La, 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 la. Hi, Edge. Guys, we're just waiting on ads to finish, and then I can get into my presentation. My presentation. What are we printing? I was just gonna do the baby dinos because I have had 2 9-monthers in the last couple of days, so I need to get on my shit. You load another roll the same color and have the type the AMS should auto switch for you. Yeah, I need to I don't know that I have any more green is my only problem. I think that's it. I have so much filament, it's insane. I think I should be able to, because it's trying to, what's trying to do is the AMS is trying to load the filament. Trying to load the stuff. I had scissors in here, but maybe I don't. Whatever. Yeah, because this empty. That empties. Let me try again. Ugh! Finished, continue. I keep trying. Hang on. It keeps reversing the filament and then it like won't load. Okay, I give up. Whatever. I'll do it offline. Okay, well, anyway, everybody, I hope you are back from ads. Welcome in. Hi, B-Ray. Hello. I'm trying to get my freaking printer to work and it's not. I'm ready to learn about the immune system. Yeah, guys, I wanted to talk about this because it's very important for today's day and age. But yeah, I'll just do all the things offline. I don't know why the overlay didn't work. I might have taken it off. I don't remember. Anyway, okay, guys, welcome to the second ever episode of Medical Monday. It's me, your girl, Tyrex. Yes, I'm a doctor. I know that's hard to believe. It's a me, a Ty. Okay, I need to be extraordinarily clear because I still get fucking DMs. Guys, I love y'all. I am a doctor. I am not your doctor, okay? This Ty Talk is brought to you by the immune system, okay? We're going to cover how our bodies respond to infection, vaccines, allergies, and we're going to talk a little bit about autoimmunity. I'm not going to do like an in-depth deep dive on autoimmunity because it is such a complex topic, but if we want to do a future Medical Monday, if you guys have topics you would like to discuss and dive into so that I can explain them, I would love to. My line is just I can't give out any medical advice because of this next slide. My goal is to provide insights into your body, okay? I want you guys to feel empowered. But this next one, this is a presentation, is not medical advice. Consult your medical provider with your health questions because I'm not your doctor. Personal advice, seriously, like I need labs, a physical exam, like to see you. Like I can't just like look at your username and be like, that person's in heart failure. That's not how it works. So it's really unethical for me to give out any medical advice. Everything is for educational purposes only. I might be a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. So it is medical advice. I'm going to kill you. Oh my God, I had heart inflammation due to the vaccine, so no vaccines for me. So you've told me that before, Tyler. I think it was the COVID vaccine, which that is a risk factor. We're going to talk about some things. Can you diagnose me with needing more cats? Yeah, I can. Hi, Bucky. Treat your to-dos like a river, not a lake that never gets empty. Stay on the river each day and dip your cup into what you can. I love it. Hi, Buckets, by the way. Ty's all our doctors confirmed. I'm going to kill you guys. Okay, so we're going to start on our immune system adventure. Guys, look at our dragons. Look, we have dragons, and we have a castle, and we have little knights, and we have cannons, and all sorts of things. So we're going on an adventure. It's a Whittle Weggle castle. So we're gonna talk a little bit more in depth about this. Hang on, I might have to hang on. That's not what I wanted to do. I might have to move these. I have to move the things just so everybody can see everything. I bet you were an awesome teacher. I try to be, man. And I'm not like, I know that I'm not giving lectures to medical students. And so like, I wanted to make it at a level that like anybody could understand. So you guys feel empowered about your health. Cause I don't know everybody's educational background and all the things. So I wanted it just like the average person that you could understand. So anyway, this is what the immune system actually looks like. Okay. I need everyone to know that this is not a comprehensive presentation on all things immune system. There are so many insane pathways. There's the complement system. There's 3 branches of the complement system. There's innate immunity. There's adaptive immunity. There are all sorts of cytokines and different things that get cleaved in this entire cascade of events that happens that is so incredibly complicated. Yeah, it's super simple. But this is why allergists and immunologists exist. And I am not one of those. So it can be extraordinarily complex. So back to our castle. Anyway, so we're going to go through a little bit of what our immune system is meant to do. So essentially, you as a little person, you want to survive. Okay? Your ancestors wanted to survive as well. And there are bugs in the environment that are constantly trying to kill us. Just constantly. There are all sorts of viruses and bacteria, and they have been around for millions and millions, if not billions of years. And they're constantly trying to kill us. So our bodies have evolved a very clever way of not letting that happen. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Some of it's hard to read. Yeah, we're gonna like go into all of it. But yeah, is the menu system when you give a menu at a restaurant? The menu system? What is that? So our babies technically foreign bodies. Well, actually, I didn't include that. I'll answer that at the end. I'll answer that at the end. Okay, so we're gonna dive into all of these different cells, but the key here is thinking of you inside a castle and your immune system as all of the stuff on the outside, the castle walls, the dragons, the knights, all of that are all things that are involved in protecting you from all these little fuckers that are trying to get in here. So we're gonna talk first about the 2 kind of branches of immunity, because this is where it's really important, especially for vaccinations and understanding why and how you feel a certain way when you get infected by a little pathogen, like a little flu virus, a little cold, a little something. So immunity is back up for grabs. So your innate immunity, I want you guys to think about like the hard structural areas and the really beefy areas. So that is your castle walls, and then your first set of defenses, which are your dragons. The Survivor GIF, huge fan. Hell yeah. So your innate immunity is like already at the site of infection. So these are already things that exist. So these are your mucous membranes. So your mouth, your butt, your anything that goes to the outside world has immune cells and mucus. I know nobody likes that word, but it has like mucus, which is full of all of these compounds that prevent you from getting an infection. So you are exposed to all sorts of dirty shit every single day. And, you know, you might get sick sometimes, but you don't get sick every single day. And part of this is, you know, say thank you to your innate immunity. So you've got your physical barriers, like your skin, stomach acid. So like if you ingest, you know, a little something that maybe is like a day or 2 after expiration, your stomach acid can kill off a lot of bacteria. It has a really, really low pH and just nukes a lot of stuff. But in addition to that, you have these they're essentially like the dragons, or you can think of them as the Pac-Men of the immune system, but they're called phagocytes, which means that it's the Latin word for eat is phagocytosis, which means a cell eats another cell. And those are the technical terms for them. They're called macrophages and neutrophils, but they're the dragons that eat up the invaders. And so they're just like going along the outside of the castle and they're nyam, 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 nyam. And we'll get into this in the next slide. But the dragons are going to eat up the invaders. And then not only that, they're going to do something really fucked up, but they're going to take little pieces of the invaders and they're going to make a nice little necklace around their necks so that they can go inside and say, hey, look, I did a really good thing. It's like a dog with bone. I did a really good thing. I killed this invader. Look at this. Look at this. And then it'll show pieces of the invaders to other cells so that all of this other stuff can happen. And then I just really like these words. These are just like little details, but there's this thing called the membrane attack complex, and it's literally just this group of cells that creates a hole in a bacteria to make the bacteria explode. So we make the bacteria explode itself. So that's kind of fun. And then my favorite cells of all time are these things called natural killer cells, and they are literally assassins. They will go around to cells checking on them and will kill cells that are infected with viruses and things like that. They'll be like, hey, are you good? Are you good? Are you good? No. Injects a bunch of freaking enzymes into the thing and just kills it. Immunology is metal as fuck, for real. For real. So the first thing we're going to talk about are the dragons. So these are the little macrophages, and these are the little necklaces that they make out of their fallen foes. So the bottom one is actually really cool. So all of these little dots here are the little bacterias, and that cell that comes in and eats them all up is a macrophage. And so that's what they literally do. They'll find bacteria and they're like, nom, 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 nom. And then they'll chop up the bacteria into a really fancy metal necklace to show to other cells and say, hey, I found this. Is this is bad, right? And then that recruits other cells to go, yeah, this is bad. Let's put a more robust system into place. Does it poop them out? No, it just eats them. Yeah, cells don't really poop. But anyway, so they eat them, and then they carry on the pieces of the invaders in a little necklace, and they release a lot of pro-inflammatory stuff. And we're going to talk about inflammation in a second, but inflammation isn't always bad. So the macrophages, once the dragons eat up all of the bacteria and all the viruses, and they're like, hey, I've got something really cool to show, they'll actually travel up the lymphatic system to your lymph nodes. And I'm sure if you guys have felt like a swollen lymph node in your neck or anything like that, you know when you're getting sick. Like if you have a sore throat and all your lymph nodes start to explode, you're like, ugh, I don't like that. And that is because your cells are showing each other like, hey, look at this. There's something bad here. Look at this. Look at this. And there's all sorts of proliferation and swelling that goes on in that area to try to get the infection under control. There's a reason for all of it. So Geralt of Rivia here is the dragon going into the throne room to be like, hey, we got a fucking problem up in here. So those macrophages and the dragons need help to destroy all of the invaders and stuff. So they go to the lymph nodes and they go, hey, something's fucked up here. We need help. And so then they'll show those little antigens to those really fancy cells called lymphocytes, which are B cells and T cells, if you guys have heard of those before. B as in boy and T as in thought, THOT, thought. Yeah, you have a throne room in your body, and that's your little lymph nodes. So that's the lymphatic system's kind of role, is it's where all those lymphocytes are held, and they're just kind of waiting. They're like, hey, I know there's something fucked up that's going to come into this castle. I'm just waiting. And then once the dragons come in with their little necklaces full of decapitated heads, that's when they know what's up. But hi, Big Hoss, it's good to see you. So then once your macrophages eat the things and once your innate immune system kind of ends, there's this next layer of defense called adaptive immunity. And so this is the very specific immunity. These are your knights, your assassins, and then your veterans who remember what happened during the war and what the enemies looked like, so that they can remember and fight the same thing again if they need to. So it's a really, really cool thing. And this is this is a little graphic of a fucking, so I'll show you where the bacteria is. So the bacteria is this little bilobed guy, red blood cells, white blood cells, and it chases this shit down, dude. Look at this. He's like, hey, get back here. You get back here. Ah! So he's chasing him. So it's really cool. So anyway, once your macrophages and all those cells of the innate immune system go and they present their decapitated heads to the knights and the assassins, the T cells and the B cells are now like, okay, we're knights, we're gonna go fuck shit up. And they're very, very specialized. T cells kind of track down and destroy infected cells. And these guys are really fucking cool because they have a lot of utility when it comes to cancer treatment. So if we're talking about like immunology, like informed and based cancer treatments, sometimes you can hijack T cells and the patient's own immunity, their own immune system, to actually target cancer cells, and the immune system will destroy cancer cells instead of needing to bathe the body in chemotherapy, which is really, really cool. So our T cells are our knights, and then our B cells have these little things called antibodies, and they're like tracking missiles. So what happens is that the dragon, which is the macrophages, gives the decapitated heads to the B cells, which are the knights, and the B cells go, I'm going to take these decapitated heads And I'm actually going to make some molds of it so that we can remember what the decapitated heads look like. You know what I mean? This is getting a little dark. I'm not going to lie. We're going to take some molds of these decapitated heads. And then if we see another decapitated head that looks like this head, we're going to attack the fuck out of it. And we're going to target it with not trebuchets, drone warfare. And then we're going to bomb the fuck out of them. So that's essentially what antibodies are. Antibodies are markers where we remember the specific pathogen. So the flu, for instance, we remember this shit. We know this decapitated head. And we can directly target that pathogen and wipe it out before it ever becomes a problem. Or if it does become a problem, it's much more minor than the first time we were exposed to it. So B cells are really cool in that they have what's called memory cells. They can terminally differentiate into these memory cells where they remember old pathogens in order to prevent infection in the future. And these are the cells that are really, 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 really important, these veterans, for vaccinations and remembering things that you've been exposed to as a kid or onward. So these guys live in the lymph nodes and surrounding tissues. They differentiate in different places. If you guys have questions, like more specific questions about any of this, I can answer that. I just didn't want to get too complicated in the beginning. Okay, so I wanted to address inflammation because everybody's like, oh my God, you need to be on an anti-inflammatory diet. You need all of this anti-inflammatory. Okay, that's not guys, inflammation is there for a reason. If we did not have the ability to promote inflammation, we would not have made it very far, evolutionarily speaking. Hi, Kyler, welcome in. So inflammation is all bad. It's when you can't turn inflammation off or you're inflamed in areas that it's not necessary, where there's something benign, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Benign means it's not bad. Where it can be bad. So what's really nice about inflammation is damaged cells release this product called histamine and all these pro-inflammatory things. There's a huge cascade of events that causes blood vessels to leak fluid, and then you get swelling and redness because if you're leaking fluid out of your blood vessels, you're leaking blood, you're leaking lymph, all of the things. And this actually isolates the invaders from the outside world and attracts more white blood cells because they can get across the barrier, and it kind of sequesters off like that infected area so that you can get better. The Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, but this is Jackie from that 70s show. But yeah, too much of a good thing is bad. If you have a chronic inflammatory state, if you're constantly in a state of inflammation, that can predispose you to things like cancer. It is like it promotes mutagenesis or mutations in DNA. But just like being inflamed in an area or as a result of an infection is actually a really good thing. Hell yeah, that 70 show. Great gift. Thanks. Do antihistamines weaken your immune system? No, they do not. We can talk a little bit about those because we're going to talk about allergies. That was a perfect question. Guys, do you like my gifts? This is what I think sometimes when you guys give me subs. I had an allergic reaction of bullshit and I'm allergic to jerks. And then this little guy got stung by a bee. I'm totally not a plant. I think Slinky's a plant. So, okay, guys, interestingly enough, when I was an undergrad, so you see that worm on the right side, the worm of assistance, that's actually a worm called C. elegans. And I did a bunch of undergraduate research on neuronal regenesis. So like when neurons regenerate on these specific nematodes called C. elegans. So that I thought that was really cool. Anyway, I'm a nerd. So allergies are essentially when your system malfunctions and your body goes, I don't like that peanut. I don't like the way that shit's looking at me. And it just it's like when your mom like sees something and just overreacts and like goes into an absolute fit. That is essentially what allergies are. So it's your immune system is like supposed to do certain things when it comes to like, you know, peanuts and pollen and pets and dust and bees, maybe not the best thing to be going anaphylactic on. So essentially what evolutionarily, what has happened is that there is a specific antibody. So remember, those are the targeting missiles that the B cells make called IgE. So there's all sorts of different antibodies. There's IgM, IgG, IgE, that do different things. And IgE, historically, evolutionarily, has been involved in fighting parasitic worms. So in countries that are like third world countries where they have a propensity for getting infected with parasitic worms, which is why I put the worm of assistance, IgE is great because it attacks these worms and gets rid of them. However, when you don't have worms, I like to think of allergies as the immune system kind of being bored. And it's like, you know what? There's not any worms around, but you know what? Fuck these peanuts. And then everything panics. And so your mast cells, which release histamine, panic. And histamine causes a lot of dilation of blood vessels and swelling. And that's why you get a runny nose, itchy eyes, everything gets red and fuzzy, and everything feels like shit. That's histamine. Histamine's trying to, if it can't get rid of the actual thing, it just wants to drool and snot and cry it out. So essentially what antihistamines are doing, it doesn't weaken any of these cells. It actually just prevents some of those more annoying symptoms. So histamine is responsible for the runny nose, itchy eyes, the swelling, all of those things. So if you take an antihistamine, it can actually minimize those symptoms a little bit, but it doesn't weaken the immune system in any way, shape, or form. But yeah. Point of order on the anti-inflammatory diets in a non-buzzword, non-naturopathic, et cetera context, the idea that you lower your baseline histamine or inflammation levels in a controlled fashion. So just have legitimate use case. It's just not, yes. Everyone loves to talk about an anti-inflammatory diet, and then they sit and talk about the carnivore diet. Okay, so now we're going to talk about autoimmunity. I threw in this slide last second, so just bear with me here. This was all off the top of my head. But autoimmunity is essentially your immune system going, I don't know if that's me. It's like looking at you in the mirror. It's like when a puppy looks at itself in the mirror and it's like, who the fuck is that? Who's that dog? I don't know who that is. I don't like him. So that's what autoimmunity is. Your immune system has little checks where it can tell, oh, this is me. I don't need to attack this. Fun fact, your eyeballs are completely separate from your immune system. And if your body discovers that your eyes exist, it will attack your eyes, which is a lot of fun. So not to like keep you guys up at night, but that is a thing. So immune cells usually know how to recognize themselves, but in autoimmune conditions, there's something that goes wrong where you can't recognize self anymore. So examples of this are rheumatoid arthritis, type 1 diabetes, lupus, psoriasis, things like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, Sjogren's disease, all sorts of stuff. Lupus is another one. And they all attack specific cells. Oh, multiple sclerosis as well. So in MS, for instance, the body attacks myelin, which is a protein that surrounds the axons of nerves. And that's essentially what sends nervous impulses down from your brain or from, some place, either your spinal cord or your brain down to your muscles. And if your body is attacking that, there's a little bit of delay in the impulse. And so that's what MS is. Type 1 diabetes is actually where the immune system attacks the islet cells of the pancreas, which are the insulin producing cells of the pancreas. Rheumatoid arthritis, it'll attack joints. Lupus is usually kidneys, and all sorts of things. So yeah, nightmare fuel. I thought it was never lupus. It's always lupus. I believe celiac's fault. Yeah, celiac does as well. There's so many autoimmune conditions, and we're discovering new ones every day. Is that what disease Iron Mouse has? No, she has. I think she has a primary autoimmune or a primary immunodeficiency, which is where her body doesn't make certain cells. I think it might be B cells. I don't know what specific thing she has, but there are cases, and I'm going to talk about herd immunity a little bit, and we can get into that a little bit as well. But there are cases where people do not have an immune system. Like they do not, they are not able to mount any sort of immune response. Yeah, primary, immunodeficiency disorder, I think. But yeah, hypopoetic. I don't know exactly what she has. Viz didn't think I should include that, but I'm gonna anyway. How vaccines work? Hi, sick. So essentially, you can think of vaccines as boot camp for your knights. Vaccines are essentially boot camp, beefing up your B cells and T cells. I thought you should. Okay, you looked at me. You gave me like a little look. Hi, Canada. I love a good vaccine. Give them all. Inject them straight into me. I couldn't believe I found this gift, by the way. So vaccines are boot camp for knights. they essentially introduce either a weakened, dead, or a piece of an invader. So all of those things that are fighting outside of your walls, we introduce that artificially through a shot or a nasal spray or something like that into the body so that your body goes, I don't like that. I'm gonna make some antibodies and I'm gonna remember this. So it shows the knights like a most wanted picture, and then it allows them, it tapes that most wanted picture onto a dummy, and then the knights are able to fight the dummy and go yeah in a very safe way that isn't gonna kill the entire castle. So the veterans then remember, I practiced on that dummy before and it had that guy's face on it. So if that guy shows his face around here, I'm going to fight him. So that's essentially what happens. Your body acts like it in a safe way. It's exposed to a particular pathogen and is able to mount an immune response. So newborns, interestingly enough, they're usually protected by their mom's antibodies, whether or not those cross the placenta or through breast milk. They actually get what's called passive immunity. Active immunity is when you're beefing up your cells yourself, you know what I mean? And you're being exposed to all of the things. Your intelligence is one of the most attractive things about you. I love you. Anyway, so active immunity is like you're lifting weights, but passive immunity is where newborns are getting antibodies from mom. And they don't start developing their own armies until they're about 6 to 12 months old. How the immune system remembers has always confused me. Yeah, so you have specific B cells that terminally differentiate into what are called memory cells. And you also have cell. It's a very, 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 very complex thing where your B cells will produce antibodies against a specific thing. And if those antibodies are like useful in fighting against a pathogen, your body will continue to produce them. Immunity does wane specifically for certain pathogens, especially pathogens that are really quick evolving. So things like the flu, and I'll talk about the flu in a second. But your body and your memory B cells and antibodies, those things are all still present. And so that's how your body remembers. Nobody's like conscious. Your cells aren't conscious. They're not like remembering things. But they are programmed to produce certain antibodies, which then provides us a cascade of events when it comes to your immune system. I hope that makes sense. Wait, do babies get breast milk when inside the body? No. Babies get antibodies from mom that cross the placenta. Yeah. I just didn't understand how it persisted long term. Yeah, it's the life cycle of those B cells and the proliferation of those memory B cells. The Covaxin was the protein that was in her, if I recall correctly. So that was an mRNA, yeah. And I didn't include COVID, but we can talk about COVID. I actually did a bunch of presentations on this in med school, so I'll get there. But I did when they were first coming out with some of the mRNA papers, like mRNA vaccine papers, actually presented at a journal club. So we'll talk about it a little bit if you'd like. So when it comes to any sort of pathogen, any sort of vaccination, this could be whether or not, a population was exposed, tens of thousands of years ago before vaccinations to some type of disease that like killed off a bunch of people. And then the population that rose from that was actually immune to it. And one of the reasons that happens, and we do this artificially with vaccines, is herd immunity. So when enough people are vaccinated or enough people have immunity to a certain disease, if you think about it, you have one person in the middle here and you're surrounded by like 5 different people, your family members, whoever. These are people that you are encountering in your everyday life. Mrs. Buckets, thanks for the 2 years.
You made a whole PowerPoint.
I did.
This is pretty cool.
Thanks, I'm glad. But if you imagine that you're in this circle and you're surrounded by the people that you are just either encountering at the grocery store or it's your family members or whoever the fuck, and 4 of those 5 people are immune to a certain disease. That means that disease can't jump from you to this person, to the next person, to this person. There's like a hard stop there. And that's what herd immunity is. And that's why herd immunity is so fucking important, and why societally we do have a responsibility to protect our neighbors. We do have a responsibility to protect those of us who can't mount immune responses and those who would be seriously negatively impacted by certain diseases. Sometimes the vaccinations that you are getting aren't just to protect you. Like, yes, They could absolutely protect you. Sometimes it's to protect your elderly neighbor that lives across the street that you give cookies to. Sometimes it's to protect really young babies who can't get immunized because they don't have an immune system until they're, again, on average 9 months old, but it's 6 to 12 months old. They don't have their own army. And so there are individuals in Texas, for instance, babies who cannot get vaccinated with the MMR vaccine because they don't have an immune system yet, who are being infected with measles way too early, and people are dying in Texas because of anti-vaxxers. That's the reality of the situation. There's no way to sugarcoat some of this shit. But hi, Ray. So measles is highly infectious. We're actually going to talk about measles specifically because it's such a hot button topic, but you need a 95% vaccination rate for measles for herd immunity with measles because it is so infectious. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but 9 out of 10 individuals who are unvaccinated who are exposed to a person with measles will get it. And then 4 out of those 5 will need to be hospitalized in some way, shape, or form in order to treat what happens with measles. So we're going to talk about it. But polio isn't nearly as infectious, and so it only requires about an 80% herd immunity, like vaccination or immunity rate. And this is, you know, when I'm talking about vaccinations, when I'm talking about immunity, there are certain diseases that you can be exposed to and you can let them run its course that you will then be immune to, because this exact same process happens. It's going to happen a lot more brutally if you get the disease itself rather than getting vaccinated, because again, we are showing your immune system a most wanted poster and then letting your immune system practice on a much less deadly, virulent version of a disease. But if you get that disease itself, you're going to feel like fucking shit, but you're still going to mount an immune response. Yeah, we nearly eradicated polio too. We're going to talk about some of the successes of vaccines. So how infectious is measles? So infectious that Homer Simpson got it. So this is actually called rubeola. It is it's a virus. We do vaccinate against certain bacteria as well, but it is a virus. It causes a rash, a really high fever, and you break out in this like crazy painful rash. You can actually develop pneumonia from this, which is what some of the individuals in Texas have died from. And you can also get brain swelling. You can get what's called subsclerosing panencephalitis. And if that word doesn't scare you enough, it should. You can also get an orchiditis, which is inflammation of the testicles of a man, which can cause infertility later in life, as if that's not scary enough. So measles is not a fucking joke. And, you know, people throwing measles parties and doing all this shit, it's so stupid and it's irresponsible, and I cannot. Anyway, hi, Ball. So again, 1 in 5 unvaccinated people. Oh, it's 1 in 5 unvaccinated people will need hospital care. 9 out of 10 unvaccinated people who encounter somebody who is infectious will become infected. It is so incredibly infectious. Measles party is a murder party. Yeah, 100%. So one person can infect 12 to 18 people if they are going around and traveling, and 9 out of 10 of those people will actually become infected. Because there are certain times where, you know, maybe you touched a door handle and you didn't rub your nose and stuff and you've been exposed, but you don't become infected. So it's not 100%. Nothing in life is ever 100%. I need you guys to know that. But yeah, are measles, mumps, and rubella all similar diseases? No, they're not. They're all different diseases, but that vaccine is all clumped into one. But yeah, they're all different. I forget what the actual name of the mumps and rubella viruses are, and they're all different types of viruses. I learned about them at one point in med school. But there's all sorts of different things like tetanus, for instance. We've vaccinated against tetanus, like that Tdap vaccine. We're not actually vaccinating against tetanus, the bacterium. We're vaccinating against the tetanotoxin, which is the toxin that tetanus secretes that causes the spastic paralysis. So I don't want to show you guys pictures of spastic paralysis because it's pretty fucking brutal. But if you look up end stage tetanus, you will see why a tetanus vaccine is so important. Actually, on that note, there was some misinformation from Brainworm McBrain McGee, who was saying that the tetanus vaccine contained mercury. No, it doesn't, and I will address that in a little bit. So we're going to talk about vaccine success stories before I start ranting about misinformation. Smallpox, the whole reason we don't have smallpox anymore is because it was eradicated by vaccines. This is a permanently disfiguring disease. I'm going to show you guys a picture. If you get sad or don't want to see a picture of smallpox, please look away. But this is what smallpox looks like. Permanently disfiguring disease in this poor kid. It was no joke. No joke. Permanently disfiguring. So if we are going to, oh, that was a fake history one. But if we're going to talk about, you know, things that we don't want to happen, that one. So we have eradicated smallpox because of vaccination rates, and we don't even need to vaccinate people anymore against smallpox. That is to the point that we have eradicated it. It's been eradicated since the 80s. Haven't there been some cases of smallpox occurring again now? So there are cowpoxes, and I think you can get them from drinking raw fucking milk, which the raw milk and anti-vax community, the Venn diagram's a circle. The Venn diagram's a circle. So I think it's cowpox, but don't quote me on that. I'm not totally up to date with that. But as far as smallpox goes, we do still have the vaccine. And certain people, especially those from third world countries, born before 1980, will have this. I mean, the smallpox vaccine, it was like, it was a big injection. But that is one of the coolest things. So, and one of the ways that we actually figured out how to vaccinate against smallpox was using cowpox, interestingly enough. Polio has been also almost eradicated. This caused a lot of paralysis, particularly in kids. The last man in an iron lung died, I think, around 10, maybe less than 10 years ago. Your mom has a scar from it? Yeah, dude, the freaking smallpox vaccine was big needles. But polio almost eradicated. We developed the vaccine in the 50s, and it's had a 99% reduction in polio cases worldwide, which is amazing. Measles equals UGG. We declared that disease eliminated in the US in 2000. Vaccines are largely safe and effective. There is no reason for us to be dealing with measles outbreaks. None. HIB, we've had a near disappearance. So this is actually the leading cause of bacterial meningitis in young people. And there was a vaccine introduced in the 80s, 99% drop in cases. There are so many more as well. Smallpox had a significant side effect, and people still got it because they understood how bad the disease was. 100%. And I don't know if the smallpox vaccine was like a live attenuated virus or not, but there are vaccines that we inject that have live viruses in them. MMR is one of them. So the MMR vaccine is a live attenuated vaccine, which means that people who have immunodeficiencies in young babies can't get it. Because if the bacteria is live, even if it's maimed in some way, if you have no immune response to it, that could actually be pretty dangerous for the individual that you are giving it to. So cancer patients, people like that. And then just being exposed to that pathogen just in life. Okay, vaccines don't cause fucking autism. I'm going to address this. There was a very cherry-picked study in 1998 that came out of the College of London by some fucker that I'm not even going to mention his name because his name needs to go down in history of burn. It planted seeds of doubt. There were 12 kids in this study. 12. They cherry-picked these kids as well. The paper was retracted. A lot of the authors removed their names from it, and everybody loves to say, "Oh, it's because they were onto something. It was because they were onto something." No, they weren't. We have 16 plus well-conducted, large population-based studies. There is no relationship between the MMR vaccine, thimerosal, which is what everybody loves to say, "Oh my God, it's mercury, in vaccination, or the number of vaccines given in autism. None. Zero correlation. The third one down had over 600,000 participants in this study. There is no link. Zero. There is no reason why we have government officials saying that vaccines cause autism at all. Yeah, the guy was trying to sell his own vaccine that didn't cause autism. He was a doctor from a very prevalent college in London who posted a garbage paper and it just took off and he has done irreparable damage. Yeah, he got his medical degree revoked as well. But yeah, have you the brainworms? So I included 4 of these papers if you guys would like to look at them. They were published in either the New England Journal of Medicine or JAMA, or I think one of them was posted in like Nature or something like that. I'm about to have a child. Can you talk me through vitamin K? I would encourage you to talk to your doctor. The recommendations that doctors give, especially when they are personalized to you, largely safe and effective. I got the vitamin K shot. Essentially, I'm not your doctor. I'm not your doctor, I promise. I can talk a little bit about vitamin K as well, though. So I'm going to debunk a little bit of misinformation. I'm going to debunk this. So a lot of people get really scared about thimerosal, which they say is mercury, and about aluminum salts, which they say is a neurotoxin. We're going to talk about that. Adjuvants are added into the vaccine in order to boost an immune response. So they increase inflammation, they increase the kind of alarm bells that are going off as far as your immune system goes. So it's saying when you inject these things, it's like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. And that's all it's trying to do. People love to say that the amount of aluminum that we are injecting into babies is like by and large, like way, way, way too high, because they're looking at TPN doses. And so if you guys know what TPN is, it stands for total parenteral nutrition, which means you are getting 100% of your vitamins, minerals, and amino acids and things that you need through an IV. Okay. Entirely through an IV. We are not injecting vaccines into your veins. So the maximum toxic dose of aluminum in TPN is going to be very, very different than something that's injected intramuscularly. Because if you inject something intramuscularly, the body processes and is able to take pieces of that much more slowly, and you don't get these massive spikes of serum aluminum levels. But that is a place that a lot of people like to perseverate when it comes to being scared of vaccines. The doses are way below the safe recommended doses. It is not the same as injecting aluminum straight into your bloodstream, and your daily exposure between water, soil, tuna, infant formula is way higher than in vaccines. I have to advocate for myself. The gastroenterologist forgot about me. No meds, no test orders. No! You can do this, Queen. If you want to DM me, I will coach you through it. If you want to DM me, I love you. I'm so sorry that happened. I have to do that all the time for me and my family too. Oh my gosh, school lectures would be so much more interesting if they're like this. I like this. So also people love to go, oh my God, formaldehyde is in the everything. Okay, guys, I need you to know that your body actually produces formaldehyde when it's making amino acids. Formaldehyde is also a byproduct of alcohol metabolism. So if you drink a beer, I hate to say it, but you're gonna have more formaldehyde in your bloodstream than you would from a vaccination. Usually what they use formaldehyde to do is to kill the toxin or the virus itself. And then they dilute it. And there's often, some formaldehyde that is in the vaccines, but it is not just loading you up with so much formaldehyde that you are going to become, like your grandma laying in a casket ready to go in the ground. Dang it, I keep giving myself formaldehyde. I know. Have you seen those people who make beers out of bread? Yeah, dude. Yeah. Remember when you were a super badass physician doing super badass physician things, that you take that super badass physician knowledge? It's super. Yeah. Thanks, Dex. I appreciate you. I just think the misinformation is so stupid, and they use scientific sounding things to scare people, and it pisses me off because there's so many people who are scared, and it makes me mad because nobody should be scared. Like, there are plenty of scary things to be afraid of. Like, these things are explainable. So some of the multi-dose flu vaccines, and that's not multi-dose being injected into you. Those are being injected into like populations. So for instance, if you are at like a flu shot clinic or something like that, they have virals and then they will sterilely take the vaccine and inject it. They do need like a stabilizing agent. And so thimerosal is one of those things. It is ethyl mercury, which is not a bioactive compound. And so it is not what causes mercury poisoning. It is not what causes mercury poisoning. I need people to know that. Flu and the TD vaccine, so it's not the Tdap vaccine, but the other formulary of the tetanus vaccine. You can ask for thimerosal-free versions. So if you are really worried about thimerosal, you can actually ask for thimerosal-free versions. And then some flu vaccines are grown in fertilized chicken eggs. And so a small amount of egg protein can be left over, which can lead to allergic reactions. There's also the same with like milk as well. So if you have a milk or a dairy or an egg allergy, talk to your doctor before you get any vaccines. Because there are also egg-free options when it comes to like your flu shots and things like that. So if you had a reaction in the past, talking to your doctor, figuring out what's right for you is going to be what's best. Just because I told you something doesn't mean that I'm not God. I don't speak for the trees. I don't know your body. If your doctor is recommended against doing something, I am not going to argue with that. So I'm scared of a lot of things. Vaccines aren't one of them. They're the most widely used. They're so well studied. They're so safe. They are so effective. And like vaccines, unfortunately, are a victim of their own success. And we have now become more afraid of vaccines than the diseases that they were invented to prevent, which is shitty. Damn, why you gotta call it my grandma like that? I'm sorry, Mandy. But yeah, critical thinking skills is something that needs to be taught in school, and that'll never happen because most propaganda relies too heavily on being, I think the U.S. flu vaccine is usually always made without thimerosal. It is now, for the most part. And a lot of people had questions on flu vaccines. So this is listen to your fucking doctor. I am not God. I don't speak for the trees. Here's all my sources. I need y'all to know that this Let's Talk Science is maybe the least reputable source that I got stuff from, and that was just because of I wanted a dragon meme for the immune system.
Something horoscopes.
Hi, thanks for the tier 2. Something horoscopes, something other things. So anyway, I got everything from Medline, Cell, lots of CDC, lots of Yale Medicine, FDA, all that stuff. I do have links in here if somebody wants to look up, ingredients of your vaccines. There are a lot of big words, I'm not gonna lie, and vaccines, I trust the experts. I trust the education. I trust the studies. And by and large, vaccines are extraordinarily safe, effective, and have done a lot of good for humanity. So I hope that explains a little bit about how the immune system works. And that way, you know better about how your immune system works, and then how vaccines, we're not just injecting wild chemicals and whatever the fuck and like snot into your arm, that we're just injecting things in order to get an immune response that your immune system remembers the pathogen. And next time it encounters it, it's like, and then you don't get sick, or you don't get as sick. That's all we're doing. Thank you, Liar, for the 100 bits. I appreciate it. So yeah, there's my presentation. I will be taking questions now. I hope that the last 4 slides I got a little heated on, I'm not gonna lie. But it makes me angry when people are fear-mongering and trying to profit off of people's fears. And then it directly hurts our most vulnerable people, which are our babies, our people who are being treated with cancer, are immunocompromised. That pisses me off. I inject Red 40 straight into my veins. Honestly, I do every morning too. I feel great. But yeah, the entire world worked on the vaccine. It's true. If you want someone who speaks for the trees, come to me. I'm a conservation biologist. Let's go. I'm not afraid of vaccines, but that magical COVID vaccine in 9 months has me a little concerned. So it was not, let's talk about that. The COVID vaccine was not a magical vaccine in 9 months. That technology, the mRNA vaccine. So how do I describe this? mRNA, the M stands for messenger RNA. RNA is the scaffolding or the blueprint that, we got to talk about like cellular reproduction. So there are certain proteins there's certain proteins that help translate because there's transcription and translation. This is going all the way back. Hang on, I gotta close my eyes so I can think. But in order to make proteins, there are certain other proteins that have to read your DNA, and they translate that into mRNA, which is messenger RNA, which is sending a message to your ribosomes, which create protein. You need proteins in your cells. That's just the thing you need. It reads the mRNA and then creates proteins from that. mRNA vaccines are essentially hijacking that cellular machinery. And that was already well in development, actually. I forget how many years, but it wasn't just like a magical thing. And so COVID is, hang on, let's just look at, I'm not going to be able to describe this in a way that is going to be super great without visuals. COVID vaccine mechanism of action. And we're going to go to a reputable source. Okay, so the first thing is that we already had that technology. I get my flu shot every year. Does the protection accumulate over time? No, I could talk about the flu shot. The flu is a pesky little fucker. But we can talk about that. It was so professional. He says, only just got here on the last few slides. Wait, you did, Dex? I'm glad that you guys liked it. Hang on, I'm sweating. Thank you for the education. Thank you. But yeah, does Beetlejuice 3 times really summon Beetlejuice? It does. It does. I didn't know the egg thing. Can you explain why they make it in eggs? Yeah. So essentially, we can talk about that in a second too. Hang on, I'm gonna get distracted. Hi, Froze. Anyway, so reads the COVID vaccine essentially is hijacking your cell's machinery to make proteins. So the spike protein in particular. So the COVID virus is encapsulated, and it has these little proteins on the outside called the spike protein. You guys have probably heard about this stuff because everybody loves to fucking fearmonger about this shit. But the spike protein is actually utilized in getting into cells. So viruses aren't alive. Viruses lack cellular machinery in order to reproduce. So they require your machinery. They hijack it in order to make more of themselves, and then they burst out of the cell. They kill the cell, burst out of the cell, and then you have all these new little COVIDs who can now go and infect everything else. Or that's the same thing that happens with HIV. That's the same thing that happens with many, many, many viri. Isn't COVID a flu, but just a different? No, not at all. Yeah, COVID is not flu at all. COVID actually belongs to a different family. It belongs to the same family that SARS. If you guys remember, like the SARS outbreak or MERS. MERS has like a 70% mortality rate. Influenza is also different than rhinovirus. It's not a rhinovirus either. So rhinovirus is really common. It's commonly implicated in the common cold, but there's so many viruses that cause the common cold that's difficult to pinpoint. So viral infections are different than bacterial infections. Viruses actually hijack your own cellular machinery in order to reproduce because they're not alive. So they actually, one of the hallmarks of life is the ability to reproduce independent of any other things. Viruses don't do that. They hijack, and so they're not alive. They cannot replicate without a host. But yeah, it's part of the coronavirus family. What's it called? HIV does the same thing. HIV is actually a retrovirus, which hijacks the cellular machinery in a really specific way, and is really good at mutating. And some of them actually insert their DNA into our DNA, which is super interesting. So anyway, COVID is an mRNA virus. So it has messenger RNA that's not specific to human cellular machinery. Bacteria have like ribonuclease strands and DNA, and some of them have RNA and all sorts of things. This is just like very common in life. These are backbones of life. RNA, DNA, backbones of life. So what the COVID vaccine does is it causes your cells to make certain proteins. So the spike protein was a big target because the spike protein The spike protein allows the COVID virus to insert into the cells so that it can now hijack and do all of the things. So what we would do is hijack our own cellular machinery, create the spike protein. So the spike protein's floating around now, and your immune system is going, I don't like that spike protein thing. That's not us, right? And then everybody's looking around. No, that's not us. And then they go, oh, we're going to make antibodies against the spike protein. That way we can fuck that shit up. The problem is now that we've had such random and sporadic adherence to immunizations, in addition to coronavirus really, really likes to mutate as well. So that's why you heard about like the Omicron virus and the Delta virus and all these different things. Anytime there's a new mutation, there's a potential that it can actually escape the immune system. That spike protein doesn't even go here. Exactly. So that mRNA vaccine was not developed in 9 months, specifically for SARS-CoV-19, which is what COVID is. They just adapted the technology that was already there, because if we didn't have that technology already there, you guys, we would have been in a world of hurt. I remember I was on the front lines. I was one of the first people within like 10 days of the vaccine getting approved for human use. I was in the hospital. Again, I'm not like out here trying to like fucking die and shit, you guys. Like, I know that's like, I don't know if people think that doctors like want to die, but like I was in line. I cried when I got that thing. It was proven to be safe and effective. Yes, there were side effects. Like there was somebody in chat who had a really serious side effect of myocarditis. But usually those things can be managed expectantly. And so people generally just get treated with like fluids, rest, recovery, and they don't have any long-term things. The things that people don't understand about coronavirus is that or COVID in particular, or coronaviruses in particular, COVID is a vascular disease. We love to think of it as a respiratory disease. It is a vascular disease. The amount of clots and the amount of inflammation, intravascular inflammation, and then the amount of long COVID and vasculitides, the vasculitises that have happened when people have gotten infected with COVID is insane. Yeah, you're more likely to also develop myocarditis if you got COVID as well. So yeah, like heart problems and kidney problems, or what is that fear mongering stuff? Yeah. So people love to fear monger and say you're going to get myocarditis with COVID. The odds that you'll get myocarditis if you get infected with COVID naturally versus in a vaccine are much higher. If you just get COVID, the odds that you're going to get long COVID, that you'd get myocarditis, that you'll get any sort of long-term fatigue syndrome, vasculitis, autoimmune condition, much higher with getting COVID versus getting the vaccine. And also people are confusing correlation with causation. You said it, not me. So anyway, so can you watch a TV series called The Midwife, called The Midwife, and they show a lot about development of vaccines and different viruses and everything from 1957. It's very educational, eye-opening. It even brings up the change of home births to hospital births. Oh, interesting. So I hope I explained that well. It's really, the stuff's really complex, but when people say they magically developed a vaccine in 9 months, they didn't. That technology was already in existence because they were trying to forecast ahead with the SARS epidemic and MERS. If you guys want to get real scared, look up MERS. It has such a high mortality rate, though, that it's very unlikely to cause a pandemic. So when we talk about like public health and, like infectious diseases and things like this, number one, it's a very complicated topic. Number two, diseases that have the potential to go to like pandemic level, like COVID did, tend to be diseases that are just virulent. And virulence is a fancy term of saying deadly. They're just virulent enough that they don't kill their host too quickly. They have the potential to be super dangerous and kill their host. I watched so many people die from COVID. And they also have a long latency period. And a latency, when you talk about infections, there's exposure, there's a latency period, and there's onset of symptoms and like replication of whatever infectious agent is going on. COVID has a really long latency period. So does the flu. It's like 5 to 7 days. So that means that somebody could be exposed They could have active virus replicating in their own cells and be unaware of it because they're not symptomatic yet and spreading the disease all over the place. There were also people that were just carrying COVID, not symptomatic at all, and were just spreading it everywhere because they didn't know they had it, like a typhoid Mary type situation. Diseases that have the potential to go to pandemic levels are usually ones like that. They're very fast replicating. They have a long latency period, and they're virulent, but not too virulent. Hi, Ghost. For some reason, I've always been fascinated by the topics tonight. Who knows? Maybe I was a doctor in past life. I love it. Okay, so from Google, DNA. Imagine DNA is like a big cookbook with all the recipes. mRNA, when our body needs to make a specific protein, it makes a copy of just one recipe. I love that. Sends it out of the nucleus, where DNA is kept in the part of the cell where the proteins are made, which is the cytoplasm. The copied recipe is mRNA, according to the National Human Genome Recipe. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. When you get the COVID shot pretty early on, they made us sit for like 20. So yeah, I did that same thing. I sat in my car. I was crying my eyes out. I still have I recorded the whole thing because I wanted to remember it. Casey, thank you for the freaking resub.
I can't believe it's been 3 years, been the best 3 years thanks to you and this community. You're amazing and helped me and been there for good and hard times. Thank you being my friend. Here's to many more years. Love ya.
Thank you, Casey. I appreciate it. Thank you for the tier 2. The first time I had COVID was the end of 2021. I made almost 2 years. Yeah, so I was vaccinated and I still got COVID. So that's the thing. Vaccine doesn't 100% of the time prevent disease. But it will decrease the severity. So for instance, if you get the flu shot every year, you can still get the flu. You just won't feel as shitty, which is great. And also through studies, what's it called? People are less likely to be hospitalized as well. And that is the outcome that we want. We do not want people hospitalized with severe pneumonia, and having all of these, like, people, I'm gonna get on a soapbox. People don't realize how, number one, horrific being in a hospital is with an infection. I have seen so many individuals through super benign things come into the hospital, get pneumonia, end up with clots and DVTs and PEs, and then fucking die. I have seen that. And so, like, people don't realize that something as innocuous as, like, oh, I have bronchitis and now it's pneumonia, it can be really, really devastating. And it's not necessarily that, like, oh, you know, measles killed me. It's all of the things that came afterward that did. So COVID isn't the first coronavirus research. It goes back to the 1930s, and mRNA research goes back to 1989. 100%. And mRNA vaccines have a lot of potential, which is really cool. I just fucking hate all the misinformation that people touted about it, and there's so much fear, and it's awful. I'm still a Novid, dude. Typhoid Mary is fascinating. My brother and I are convinced that we had COVID before they really knew it. I think my sister did. My sister got pneumonia in November of 2019, and she's young and healthy. She was like, I don't know, 26 at the time. Yeah, COVID made me feel like I was dying. Dude, I have never had something make me feel like I couldn't breathe. Like I was scared. So I'm here, I got really lucky because I got COVID twice, no lasting effects, but I can't get the shot due to the complications. You can't, Freedom, is that what you said? Yeah, listen to your doctor, absolutely. But people who are infected with COVID, they looked at how long you are immune to getting COVID again, and on average, it's anywhere from like 90 days to like 6 months. And some people get longer. Some people have really, really good immune systems, and they're remembering all the things. But oftentimes you need boosters. So somebody asked about the flu vaccine. So getting the flu vaccine every year, it doesn't mean that you're like beefing up your immune system. You have the most beefy immune system ever because you're immune to all of the influenzas. Unfortunately, the flu. So if you've ever seen any sort of flu, like H5N1, H1N1, blah, 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 blah. So that H and that N are, they're markers on the flu virus. And you know, if it's like whether or not it's bird flu or it's swine flu or whatever, they're all flus. they're all related, but they're all different. And so those markers on the outside tell you what variant of flu you're working with. So as far as the flu goes, the flu does this thing called antigenic drift. And it is a really pesky mechanism by which viruses mutate just ever so slightly to evade the immune system. And the flu is brilliant at it. It's absolutely, it's if it weren't so detrimental, it'd be beautiful. Like it's absolutely stunning how it's able to evade the immune system. And so that's why every year we have a panel of scientists and doctors who try to forecast what exactly the antigenic drift is going to cause and what versions of the flu are going to be most prevalent. And so there are trivalent and quadrivalent flu vaccines. Trivalent tends to be, so there's 3 of them. It tends to be 2 influenza A's and 1 influenza B, and then a quadrivalent will be 2 of each. And this year's probably going to be a trivalent version. But yeah, the flu is very pesky and it mutates. And so that's why we need a yearly flu shot, because even if you got the flu shot last year, who's to say that the newest one isn't going to be completely different and your immune system's not going to know what the fuck is going on. So yeah. Remember when it was just 2 weeks to flatten the curve? Yeah. It's because nobody stayed the fuck home. Back home, my new nurse was somehow a COVID denier. Yeah, so there are, unfortunately, what I've seen in nursing is a little bit of the Dunning-Kruger effect, and I hate to be the person that says this. There are a lot of really intelligent nurses out there, but they don't get the rigorous education that physicians do, and I think it leads to a lot of overconfidence. I'm not demonizing nurses. I think nurses are absolutely fantastic, but I have seen a fair amount of nurses claim that they know things that they just fucking don't. So there's a bug in here. Yeah, here. Anyway, I seriously enjoy listening to streams while I work in the workshop, and I hope that I really enjoy doing them. I want to do an autoimmune one. I think that could be fun. I want to be very mindful, because I'm so glad. Can I just say thank you guys for being chill? Because I was nervous about this Medical Monday, because vaccinations are such a hot button topic. And I just really want to say thank you for not, for being in line with science and like listening and being open and communicative and asking questions and all of that. Like, I have family members who are very firmly in this like alt-right anti-vax Maha pipeline. And it makes me really sad. And so I go into every conversation assuming that that's what I'm going to get. Archer, thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate you, dude. Oh my God, I appreciate it so much. I got to get some babies printed. Another baby. That's the 3rd one. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for being open and having dialogue, and I appreciate the questions and all the things. I hope I answered things in a way that's like digestible. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I want to be a resource. Like, I can't offer medical advice, obviously, but I do want to be an educational resource. Just because it's complex out there and there's a lot of scary shit going on. And so to have voices that are touting science, like science, and not misinformation, I want to be a part of that. I would be remiss if I looked back on this time in history and I'm 80 years old and I went, I could have done more. So yeah. My dad and I had some really weird bug that absolutely kicked our butts for 2 weeks in van. Oh my God, I hate that. Yeah, flu mutation is evolution at work. It's so cool. It's cool. It's really cool, but it's really fucked. The first 2 days of COVID sucked. I was hacking up phlegm and I coughed. Ew, I hate that. Oh my God, I hate that. You had a muscle tear. Bye, dogs. The panel is the WHO. Good luck for the USA at the end of the year. I thought that there was one on I thought there was a CDC panel. Yeah, I can't get the shot. I have things that prevent that. Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe I have a good immune response. Either way, I'm just happy to be alive. Well, I'm glad you're here. I don't buy into all the fear mongering, but I was in a good headspace back then. Oh, I'm so sorry. Ugh. I'm glad that you're here, Switch. You killed it. Thanks. Do you have any knowledge on prion diseases? I do. Creutzfeldt-Jakob and Kuru. Prions are fucking scary. That's what they are. Wait, babies come from 3D printers? They do. I'm so sorry to be the first one to tell you. Oh God, the medical devices. My aunt's ex-boyfriend's friend was a nurse that told him all types of dumb shit about the corona and vaccines. I really should have kept that pillow on top a little bit longer in Minecraft. Hi Mercer. I'll be the first one to say the quality of nurses has gone downhill going through cancer right now, and it's like, wow. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you're doing okay. I'm so sorry you're going through that though. I'm sending you all the good vibes. I'm glad it was educational. Did you think we wouldn't be nice? No, I knew that I knew that like my community would be great. I worry about the passersby who are mean. Prions are terrifying. I learned about Kuru and I had to watch the Cannibal Tribes of New Guinea documentary in college. Yeah, dude. Kuru, chronic wasting disease or prion diseases, mad cow diseases. Yeah, guys, if you want to see something super scary, prions are really interesting. They're not alive. Prions are misfolded proteins that bump into other proteins and cause the same misfolding. And if you encounter, it's usually from being exposed particularly to the brain tissue of somebody with a prion disease. So for instance, like Apropoetic was talking about, there was a tribe in New Guinea who underwent a funerary, that sounds like a weird word, ritual where they would actually consume the bodies of their deceased loved ones, and in particular their brains, and they were finding that a ton of people were getting prion diseases. In humans it's called Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, but the Jakob is like Jacob. So don't eat brains, folks. You're not a zombie. But it's 100% fatal. 100%. There's no getting around it. It causes misfoldings of proteins and they all bump into each other, and then you get this cascading effect where you essentially your brain just becomes mush. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, unless you are a zombie. I mean, at least it would prevent a zombie apocalypse, you know what I mean? I love that you're doing this too. It makes me happy that people are actually receptive to learning. Me too. It gives me a lot of hope. But yeah, so yeah, Kuru is Creutzfeldt-Jakob, but it was called Kuru by the indigenous peoples of New Guinea. Yeah, there's a massive push for everyone to get the vaccine that made me wary. Nothing else has gotten that much push, in my opinion. It's because guys, I cannot emphasize how bad COVID was in the hospitals. It was so bad. And people didn't see it. We have not had a global pandemic since the Spanish flu in the 1920s. It was so bad, and it was spreading so quickly and so infectious that that was the only hope. Like I did not feel hope about COVID. It seemed like it was going to be around forever. I didn't have any hope until that vaccine was developed. And then to have so much public pushback was awful. People just didn't trust the scientists, and that really sucked. I saw a lot of shit in the hospital during COVID. Hi Rad. So sorry if you already answered this. How is influenza so good at mutating, and how is it not mutated out of its way of being so effective? Oh, interesting. Yeah. So it's evolutionary pressures, Rad. So, it undergoes this process called antigenic drift. And the antigens are the little proteins on the outside of the flu. And essentially through evolutionary pressures, so ability to infect a host, evade the immune system, cause symptomatic disease, things like that, and then get to another host. Through that entire process, like obviously it would die out if it weren't mutating and infecting individuals, and so then there would be that strain of flu. There likely have been strains of flu that weren't as infectious and weren't able to infect a person, and those pieces or those strains just die out. But the strains that are really good at it, those are the ones that continue to replicate, continue to mutate, continue to do all these things. And so let me just like pull up a little thing on antigenic drift. Essentially it's these really like small, minute mutations that happen in the antigens that the immune system detects that cause it to evade the immune system ever so slightly. But yeah, it's essentially just evolutionary pressures. Also, high unrivaled strikes. So if a flu virus, for instance, mutated in a way that made it less infectious, that strain isn't going to be transmitted from person to person, and it will eventually just peter out. So evolution favors the strains that evade the immune system are able to replicate unimpeded. Does that make sense? I can also, let's do, hang on, I want to find a good source for this. ResearchGate, lit. Studio mode. Like me just a little less. So yeah, antigenic drift is just essentially like really small mutations accumulated, rather than like completely new antigens being evolved. Medical Monday. Life finds a way! So this is antigenic drift. So you get really small mutations. Hang on, I don't think you can see my stuff. But you get really small mutations in these outside proteins. So those are antigens. Antigens are it's just a fancy way of saying like the things that the immune system recognizes. And so all of the proteins on the outside, you know, there are different things that the immune system will recognize as far as like polysaccharides, which are just like sugars, or like mannose is another one, not D-mannose, sorry, that's what I take for UTIs. But like mannose, and different little groups of molecules, cue your immune system to respond in some way, shape, or form. And there are specific molecules actually that trigger the innate immune system versus if something gets identified by like an antibody, for instance, then that cues in the adaptive immune system. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Life finds a way, the flu finds a way. So antigenic drift is just really small mutations accumulated over time. I mean, this is like a really like basic thing. It's just on microbiologyinfo.com. Who knows if they're, you know, reputable or what. But antigenic shift is when you get like a whole new subtype, but drift is when you get just enough to evade the immune system. And again, evolution is a funky thing. It's really cool, but it's really fucked up when it comes to viruses and bacterias. I hope does that make sense? More like chemistry finds a way. It's true. I know, because it's not even life. It's viri. But yeah, unrivaled. You're an MD? Oh my god. Do you stream, or are you viewer? I feel like I'm the only one here. I have a lot of PhD friends, but not many medical friends. I have known some nurses who have streamed, but never an MD or a DO. Kind of unrelated, but also since my mind is still in scrubs, would you agree it's more medically accurate? Yeah, absolutely. Unlike freaking House, where it's always lupus. But yeah, in my short time of working at the hospital before I went out on medical, I got COVID 3 times because of shitty and backwards new policies on COVID, the lack of PPE, 100%. The lack of PPE, the bodies being taken into trucks, and healthcare workers getting sick, people dying. We didn't really know what the disease was doing short-term or long-term, and it was all like the Wild West. Like, that's why the vaccine was pushed, because it was like hope. That was the first time I seriously felt hope. I will never forget a patient that I had that clotted off both of his legs when I was on vascular surgery, and it was horrific. We had to do fasciotomies and wound vacs, and it was awful, and it was all for nothing. It's all for nothing. I have a degree in computer science, so I definitely know more than the so-called doctors. Absolutely, you do. It reminds me of why we keep changing drugs for a few of my patients. Wait, you don't have to answer these questions, only if you want to. What specialty are you in? all of the things. I was in Gen Surge. You remember those cases of Ebola in Dallas? Dude, Ebola is so scary. If Ebola was freaking airborne, I worked with someone at the time who was friends with the nurse who got it. Ebola's scary. Hi Ninja. The good news is Ebola is usually like it's contact with bodily fluids. And so, you know, you don't have to worry as much about like respiratory droplets. Pete's hemonc, holy shit. That's so cool. That's so cool. I know so many nurses at all my doctor's visits who wore their masks not covering the nose. Dude, I had a surgeon who in the OR, like his mask would always fall below his nose. And I was like, oh my God. Killed me. I hope the global medical and government community learn important lessons for next time. A lot of it was messaging, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I think back on that time and I'm just so sad. Like, poor Fauci, dude. There's a marriage and family counselor doc that streams. Really? I love that. Is it TB on the rise too in the US? Yeah. TB's fucked. If you want to be scared of something, tuberculosis, it's hard to treat. Really hard. And the drugs we use are rough on you and you have to be treated for a long time. Hank Green's brother, what's his name? He has a book called Everything is TB. I really want to read it. If you know, his name is Dr. Mick. He's awesome. Ooh, I would love to. John Green. Yeah. We have a guy with brainworms in charge of health now. If we just not have Mr. Neurocystic running the government, that'd be like really fucking cool. You're a vascular surgeon? No, I was doing rotations in vascular surgery because general surgery is kind of like a jack of all trades kind of thing. So you rotate through and do vascular surgery, S-whale. So yeah. But yeah, I had an ablation of the GSV in my right leg. Oh shit. For varicose veins. Hi, 187. I love John Green so much. Dude, I love John and Hank. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Disinformation related to political agendas really screwed the U.S. over. 100%. Sometimes I tell a few adults who refuse to wear their masks, the kiddos don't complain about their masks. Dude, I had full-on adults in my family who were like, I can't breathe. Meanwhile, I'm operating with a fucking N95 underneath my surgical mask. I was like, bitch, shut up. Like, I literally went into like one of the rooms, put a pulse ox on my finger with my double mask and was like, I'm at 98. What are you talking about? You can't breathe. Like, you selfish fuck. Anyway, sorry. I'm not mad. You're mad. Anyway, my family like gets me so angry about it because like they could ask me questions and they just refuse. I really wish that the raspy party animal, my nice words, would not would not be in charge of the medicine in the U.S. I know what you mean, girl. Dude, it kills me. It kills me. I'm so sick of people being harmed by people who know nothing. People who say that have a medical condition that prevented them from wearing a mask. I can't speculate on whether or not they did, but like saying that your oxygen saturations went down when we were literally operating with 2 masks on, including an N95, I could not. Spare me. I have asthma too. Like girly pop. Like, yeah, they were like, they had this whole campaign where it was like, let the air in or something like that, or like breathe free. And they were like posting it all over Facebook. They're one of the reasons I got rid of Facebook for good. I can't be on that app. I will literally like you guys, now that I just gave that vaccination and immunology crash course, I was talking to Viz about this earlier. I have been fighting misinformation on the internet about vaccines specifically to my family members on Facebook for probably the better part of the last 15 years. So when Viz was like, you might invite, some people who are like touting misinformation and stuff, and I was like, bet, let's fucking go. He's like, yeah, I'm not like worried about you, but like, just so you know, I was like, yeah, I've been doing this shit. Those guys are bloody idiots. I know, it's so stupid. Strikes. Well, I'm glad you're here. We can commiserate together. My surgeon was blasting old school hip hop in the OR. Oh yeah. Those are the best parts. They say they can't breathe with a medical and then wear thicker masks when storming a building. You're a hero? Nah. Matoma, short meta shares. Let's go. Hi, Lib. Hi, Robin. It's good to see you guys. Welcome in. Facebook is an abomination. Dude, I'm so... Like, remember when Mark Zuckerberg was like, yeah, we don't want to fact check anymore? It's like, okay, great. Awesome. I did that all the time at work. I hated wearing a mask. Hated it, but I did it. Because first off, I wanted to work. And secondly, I wanted to keep myself and my customer. That was the saddest part of the whole thing. Was that masks were most effective and are most effective if you are symptomatic. So if... It requires a certain amount of selflessness that I think is just lacking in the US. I think this like individualistic, like, I don't know, culture that we have over here is just so bad for public health and just being a decent human. But like, in order to, thank you for the 2 months.
For my fellow MD on stream,
Let's go. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hi, Danny. But yeah, I really appreciate you. Anyway, greed and individualism. Yeah. Because like, if you are infectious and symptomatic, you should wear a mask because that will prevent other people from being sick, but people do not care. Just crazy. I was a fidgeting Viz saying that digestry. No, seriously, he's like, you might get a couple of people who are like, very anti-vax. And I was like, bring it on. I've literally had in person. There's nothing that compares to having like an in-person yelling match with your cousin's wife over vaccines. I'm much calmer now than I was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I've learned a great many things in therapy. Number one, some fights just aren't worth having. And if somebody just wants to scream misinformation at you and they have no desire to hear any sort of opinion, opinion or fact, or any of it. Like, I literally had an argument with my cousin and I was like, we're going to Google this together. And then he was like, well, yeah, I don't know about that. I was like, shut the fuck up then. But he says things with such conviction and like, scientists are always talking about like, yeah, perhaps, maybe, sometimes, often, like we're never certain. But all of these podcast bros speak like they have, like they're being puppeted by Satan himself. Like literally, it's like such conviction. If anybody speaks in certainties, you guys, I need you to adopt the whole Obi-Wan thing and be like, only a Sith deals in absolutes. Okay. Don't listen to them. There are no absolutes in science and medicine. I know that humans love to think in black and white. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Anyway, some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. It's so true. I just drooled, dude. But think of the shareholders. Oh my God, I wear a mask every day when I deliver medications. Why? So I don't spread my germs to these cancer sickle cell patients. I love that, Abacus. Does wearing a mask help you from getting sick? It does, but it's most effective when the person who is infectious is wearing it. But it can, especially if you're wearing an N95, a well-fitted N95. Like if you are around somebody with tuberculosis, you need to be fitted for an N95. And if you don't have the anatomy for one, you need a PAPR, which is like an entire like head suit thing with a little separate oxygen. So thank goodness my family is in Japan and they're used to wearing masks. Dude, I swear, like the culture in like Japan and China in particular, like where you just wear masks, like I think it's so beneficial. Let them scream until they're tired and then win them with calm facts. That's what I'm trying to do now. I'm healing. I'm not feeling well. I have to go run errands. Oh yeah, I love that. Like, yeah, main shop or the house, you just wear the mask. Exactly. Because that's how science works. You adapt to new information. I know. And people like, they'll sit there and be like, do you believe in science? And I'm like, it's not a belief. It's a way of thinking. So no, I don't believe in science. What are you talking about? Yeah, science, bitch. Exactly. Hi, Rick. I still talk to my mother, entire side of her family. Yeah. They live in Delulu world. Something's gonna have to happen. I don't know what it is. Cause same. I'm not gonna listen to medical professionals because my orange cold, dude, it's crazy over here. I wear a mask when flying still. It's easy to reduce the likelihood of getting sick while on vacation. 100%. I had to wear a hood once when I worked in COVID testing clinic. I didn't know you did that. You wear a PAPR? During COVID, I kept thinking about that movie, Bubble Boy. Wearing a well-fitting mask is worth the weight in gold. 100%. I actually have it's like a reusable N95, but it has like this like cushiony like mouth area, and then you can change out the filter. But I bought that after COVID, and I am gonna die with that thing. But yeah, when I worked in the prison, the big thing was getting a TB shot. I was surprised how common it is in prisons. Oh, you guys actually had to get the shot? Like, not just like a... What is the test? The skin test. The skin test. All I can think of is Tdap, and that's not it. The TB test under the skin. It's called something in particular. My brain is not braining. Okay, yeah, whatever. It's not a prick test. At least PPD. 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 That's what it is. Thank you, Wolfen. I like how you call it a prick test, though. That was for allergies. No, yeah, the prick test for allergies. Dude, I had one of those. I thought I was dying. It was horrible. What if I don't like people saying, but you're, wait, grandma or grandma says it works, and that clearly isn't scientifically peer reviewed. Yeah, they're like, if I shove a lemon up my ass, I won't get COVID. And I'm like, you're more than welcome to do that, but you will get COVID. Okay? The lemon is not going to help. Anyway, I have to take a platinum test at work. A lot of people are allergic to it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, my pharmacy chain had doing mass COVID testing in walk-in clinics. And once testing slowed down, we were trying to get vaccines. Oh, shit. I heard JDAGs are all the rage. Oh my God. I didn't get the COVID shot because of a piece of code kills me, but if some shot kills me or complicates my life, I'd be more pissed. The odds of the shot killing you are, I'm just going to say, extraordinarily low. Extraordinarily low. The vaccine is largely safe and effective. And the thing is like, what I've told people too is like, there are some fates that are worse than dying, and one of them is getting complications from a disease and then ending up in a hospital bedridden. And like, people don't think about this. It's not just that the disease might kill you, it's all of the things that happen afterward that are not good. Pneumonia, falls, clots, PEs, heart attacks, like strokes. There's so many things. And people don't realize that. People just think like, oh, it's just going to be lights out. No, it often isn't. I worked in public health clinics with specialized air rooms for TB. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically the conundrum between cancer and chemo. Yes. I've also got tickets set up for the 35th anniversary of the showing of Ninja Turtles. Ooh, alternative medicine either not been proved to work or has been proved not to work. Do you know what they call alternative medicine that's proved to work? It's medicine, exactly. And you're telling me that these big pharmaceutical companies don't want to monetize the fuck out of that? Like when people sit and go, oh my God, they have the cure to cancer. They have the cure to cancer. They're just hiding it. They're just hiding it. I'm going to do a cancer lecture, by the way. We're going to talk about how cancer arises, not specific cancers, but we will talk about kind of mutagenesis and like how cellular machinery gets hijacked and how cancer happens. Because usually it's like a two-hit thing. It's like an environmental thing and a genetic predisposition. And I've got a hair that's like going directly into my eye. You never being responsible for the death of others because you spread the disease because you didn't get the vaccine. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yes. P53, let's go. That little bitch. Yeah, wasn't there some weird one that said if you drink pee, you won't get COVID? I don't know. I do remember our president asking if we could inject bleach and shine bright lights into our veins. So I do remember that. And then we reelected that geriatric orange fuck. I have angiosarcoma. So my grandpa actually had angiosarcoma. But I don't know what kind of thoughts you're looking for, but I'm really sorry that you were diagnosed with that, first and foremost. But yeah, my grandpa actually had that. The bleach thing was wild, 100%. A VTuber I follow had COVID too, in like a couple months, and she also developed pneumonia, and a year later still has COVID symptoms. Yeah, this smell and taste thing. I've got friends who, because that first strain of COVID, I forget exactly what it was, really hit smell and taste hard. And some of my friends are like, it's never been it's never come back. Yeah, but if they have the cure to cancer, they make a fucking fortune. Oh, 100%. 100%. It's apparently okay to look directly in the sun. Hell yeah. I seldom curse in streams, but fuck that old idiot. I agree. I hate him. My father-in-law tried to clean a burn with lemon juice. I told you guys about the bloodletting that my grandpa did yesterday, right? That was pretty great. You do a whole series of streams debunking. I think that would be fun. I kind of want to do like a debunking, like wellness stuff. And unfortunately, like you guys, I just need you to know, I benefit zero from this. Other than just feeling like I'm doing something that matters. You know, when people accuse me of being like a big pharma shill, I need you guys to know I'm not practicing in any way, shape, or form. I am just doing this because I want to share information and I want people to feel more empowered and educated about their health and their decision-making processes and all of the things, and be able to combat misinformation when it does arise. My stupid hair is poking me. Hi, Bella. Bella, how are you? Be careful with the debunking. Yeah, keyboard warriors. I know, and I want to do it from like a critical thinking medical standpoint so that people can debunk for me and I don't have to do it. You know what I mean? But hi, Bella. How was your stream? How goes it? But yeah, there's a YouTuber I've been bedridden for years now due to COVID. Oh my god, I hate that. I hate that. But yeah, I'm sure mods had to be on high alert. They were. I actually sent a message to my mods beforehand. I said, hey guys, you know, in case I get hate rated or anything like that, just be on high alert. Okay. Well, guys, appreciate you being here. It went well, dude. We talked about immunizations and vaccinations and all sorts of things. Damn, if I find the cure for cancer, I'd be, dude, 100%. 100%. But yeah, stage 3 for sure. There's signs of it in my lungs. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mercer. I hope that you're doing okay despite everything. My heart goes out to you. I'm really sorry. Okay, guys. Well, at this point, I do think I'm gonna raid out, and we will resume tomorrow. I am going to a doctor's appointment with my mom in the morning because I am going to pull doctor-daughter on them, because there's been some stuff happening. So I might be a little late to stream. I'm planning on it being at 11 my time. Planning on playing Mass Effect, but please just like stay up to date in the Discord. I don't know if I'm gonna be on time. Okay, so let's go raid some friendos. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's so many fun people on. Who am I supposed to choose? Shit. Well, since we did a little science education, I'm gonna send you to another little scientist. Yeah, absolutely, Strikes. I appreciate you guys being here. I do these like once a month, and so the next one I'll come up with a topic. There's so many things. I hope that you guys found this educational. I'm gonna be posting the slide deck for this one and the last one in the Discord. So thank you guys for being here. Please join the Discord if you haven't yet. We are doing a game night. Oh, I forgot a letter. Discord. We're doing a community game night on Wednesday. Community game night on Wednesday. We're gonna be playing Party Animals and Among Us and just hanging out with everybody. I know, Ben. We're gonna read Science. He is I think his education is in entomology, like the study of insects, which is really cool. So we'll go and raid him. And make sure you guys get your daily dinos. Make sure you copy and paste that raid message. And I will see you guys first thing tomorrow. Thank you guys for being here. I really, really, really appreciate you. I will see you then. then, and that's my only other announcement. And then, oh, you should definitely sub to me on YouTube because I'm posting a bunch of stuff. Guys, please don't forget that you matter. Your health matters. Your mental health matters. I hope this enabled you and empowered you to advocate for yourself a little bit more in spaces where that might have felt scary before. And please don't forget that the bravest thing you could ever do is reach out and ask for help when you need it. Okay? I appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.